Yeah, some Cinco de Mayo type music to get us started today. It is the Bennington Show. Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington.
Yo.
It is, it's the first time Cinco de Mayo ever hit in the middle of November. So this is an exciting, weird year for us all.
It's not margarita weather out there. It really isn't.
Do you kind of feel like it's odd that we're celebrating Cinco de Mayo knowing that we're going to be building a wall in just a matter of like 5 months?
It's our last
wall
one.
starts.
It's the last one we can really enjoy.
I guess.
At least make a window in that wall so you could pass over your delicious foods to us.
Do you know what country celebrates Cinco de Mayo the most?
Which one?
Ours.
Really?
Not a big thing. One of the Mexican beers, I think, was behind it.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably Corona.
It is.
Probably Corona was the first big pop-up Mexican beer.
Yeah.
Along with Cinco de Mayo, I believe today is actually also National Hoagie Day.
Is it really?
It's National Hoagie Day.
Well, I'm really furious about that then. I would have sent somebody down. Although we're getting steaks to celebrate goodbye to our interns. Matter of fact, we're going to give away a prize in just a couple of minutes. Give us a call. 844-ROCK-GOD, 844-ROCK-GOD. We'll be sending you into the Pretty Good Prize Closet to have a pretty good prize. 844-ROCK-GOD. Pick up the phone. Give us a call. It's a little game that Vito plays. Now, by the way, I don't even like the idea of National Hoagie Day because that's a Philly thing. You get outside of Philly and it ain't a hoagie. I don't know what it is.
It's something else. It's not a hoagie.
You know my fucking worst thing to somebody will call it?
What?
A submarine sandwich. People say that, yeah, there are parts of the country.
They say submarine, the whole word. That
First of all, we already found out from a couple of comics, you don't know shit about sandwiches.
You don't know anything about sandwiches, and I believe them.
Those comics don't know shit about sandwiches. I'm the one who knows.
Really? Then how did they shut you down so fast?
They shut down nothing. I shut them down.
I think it should probably be the end of Cinco de Mayo. That's it. I mean, we can't have the wall and have Cinco de Mayo. It just doesn't make sense.
You're gonna have to pick what you like better.
By the way, I have a friend, I'm not going to say who it is, who says this term that used to drive me crazy. Tuna fish salad sandwich. It's too long.
Too long. If somebody says, "Would you like a tuna sandwich?" I'm not going to think that there's going to be a slab of tuna, seared tuna steak.
That's not how you have
between
it?
two pieces of bread.
By the way, this illness is not leaving me. And I know Opa's out there again today.
Yeah.
I should have taken out too.
Everybody is sick. And it's a long-lasting sickness.
Yeah.
Like I've had a cough for like 7-8 days now.
Well, I was bit by a mosquito the other day, so I don't know how I feel.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Are those your shades?
Yeah, they are.
Those are really fucking cool.
Thanks.
Everybody's got cool shades except for Chris.
Why? I got blue blockers.
I know, but the Zach Galifianakis thing, you know what I mean? That's his.
It's mine. It was mine before Galifianakis, it says.
Well, I didn't want to take off today because I want to get the interns infected before they leave.
Yeah. Send them on their way with a little parting gift.
Here's some Zyka.
The Doug Stanhope tickets, as predicted, have gone off the hook. So we'll just let today be the last day that we plug. We forgot to cut a promo for that too, Chris. It's one of the things I want you to start thinking of. Promos, which short for promotions.
Promotion.
But anyway, your chance, go over to the interrobang.com, theinterrobang.com. And I will tell you this, some celebs are asking to come to this.
Oh.
Really?
We actually got a tweet from, I think, next year's biggest comedy star, Mr. Joe List.
Oh.
No, instead of even just asking us, he actually sent it in on Twitter.
Good. Going to the proper channels.
Now, he asked for two. So who would it be? The very funny Sarah Tolomash?
Mm-hmm.
Will it be Mark Norman? His podcast? It's time to speculate, ladies and gentlemen. Vito, get in here so we can play your game and give away prizes. This is the end of the special correspondence promo.
I know.
And, it's bittersweet.
It is bittersweet, just like the interns. It's like, it feels like I'm losing everything.
Well, the interns, one of them is bitter, the other is sweet. But they're both great team members.
This That's News to Me segment is brought to you by Netflix and Special Correspondence. Special Correspondence is streaming now only on Netflix.
No, not to try to tell you how to produce a show, but isn't this Vito's bit? Shouldn't that have been his time?
Yeah, that should have been
thick-tongue it.
his time to shine.
It's his time down here.
It's your time up there, but it's his time down here.
All right, you're good enough for Goonies. Go ahead and read it yourself, Vito.
The That's News to Me segment is brought to you by Netflix and Special Correspondence. Special Correspondence is streaming now only on Netflix.
Why do both you guys pretend you're announcers? Neither one. You both are mumblers, and then you have to read something. Hey, everybody! That's Vito!
That's News to Me segment.
God bless you!
You know what time it is, folks.
I just try to enunciate properly.
Well, do that all the time.
Okay.
Don't fucking just do it then.
Well, my game, That's News to Me.
Why is it your game? You're just hosting it. You don't own it. Matter of fact, from what I understand, it's not even an original idea. I've had a couple people write into me. Vito stole that.
The game I'm hosting right now,
Yes.
That's News to Me.
Better.
All right.
I have 2 real stories and 1 fake one.
All right, why don't you go ahead, read them off. Everybody on the show will pick theirs, and then we will go to a contestant, and they can use our, judgment or move on. I got a feeling this is going to be a first story day. Last time we went 3 long stories.
I know.
Today's the first story day. Now, I don't know it. You don't know it,
I don't
Gail.
know it either.
Joe,
I don't know shit.
this is left into fucking Club Vito. This is frightening. None of these stories better have to do with rape, Vito. And off, why that shouldn't get a laugh. And off we go.
The first story,
Yeah.
drunk driving suspect farts on patrolman.
Jesus.
The second story, couple fired from fast food place for banging in drive-through window.
In the window?
So we got fart, fuck. Is it time for shit?
And third story, battery suspect claims he could smell sex in the air.
A battery suspect.
So
Like
someone who
assault
got
and battery?
Beat up and they just smelled sex?
No, suspect.
Yeah, so he beat somebody up.
And then he
His
smelled
reasoning-
sex?
His reasoning was, I smelled sex in the air.
Okay, so he
Okay.
came home. He thought his apartment stunk like sex, so he beat up his wife
Okay.
or girlfriend.
Yes.
All right, I'm just going to say the fake is fart. All these are ridiculous stories, though. The guy fart. What do you do? A guy farted on a cop?
Yeah. Farted on a cop.
I know. I read the news and I never saw
I really hope that one is fake, but I'm going to go with the sex in the drive-through window because I don't entirely know what that means. Like in the window while they were waiting for the food?
Is that it? When they drove up, they were having the sex?
Okay.
Or were they employees at the restaurant? That's how I took it.
All right, let him just explain it.
There was a couple of employees.
Okay, they were banging
Okay.
in the window.
Banging
That's
out
to me.
in
That's
the
the
window.
fake.
Okay, yeah,
You've
that's-
got fart.
You know what? Yeah, you'll take fuck. Joe?
The fake is definitely the drive-through one because there's other places to bang in the restaurant. You can
You're
bang.
actually going out of your way to explain logic to us.
Yeah.
All right, you're all in, dude.
Yeah.
And Chris?
It's farts. No one's going to report on someone. I farted at someone on the subway today. Is that newsworthy? No.
All right. There's 2 farts. There's 2 banging in the windows. No one brought up a guy came home, smelled sex, and beat up his chick. We all think that's true.
That's
It's obvious
plausible.
that happened.
Yeah.
That's very plausible.
All right, here's Lauren in Florida. Lauren, did you get to hear everything that he was bringing
Yeah,
up?
I got it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just go against the grain, and I'll say the sex one. I'll say that he did not smell sex in the air.
He did not smell sex, so the hell with all the experts. You got your own
Right?
idea. You know what? I admire you. I admire you for that. Which one is is it the false story or the true story that we're looking for?
We're looking for the fake.
Okay. And what is that story?
And she should have went with you guys because she's wrong.
Incorrect.
Well, the room majority was the fast food place bang out. And that is the one that is fake.
Okay, that isn't the room majority.
No,
There
that was
two
two ties.
now.
It was ties.
There was two twos, okay? All we asked you to do is focus during these 5 minutes. No, we got to keep playing this game. Go ahead and read off about who we're playing for.
The That's News to Me segment is brought to you by Netflix and Special Correspondents. Special Correspondents is streaming now only on Netflix.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Next 3 stories.
Round 2. Story number 1. Woman attacked boyfriend for spoiling Game of Thrones.
Oh, ooh, I deal with that all the time with Chris. People are going after him with fucking broken bottles. So I think that's true.
2. Shoplifter bites off Walmart employee's finger.
Ugh.
And 3.
Why does that get a laugh? That's assault, brother.
And 3. Florida man arrested for urinating on pregnant girlfriend.
Well, I believe anything about Florida,
Yeah,
man.
Florida.
That fuckers are crazy. I'm gonna say that the bit off the finger did not happen.
I hope it didn't.
Yeah, I hope it didn't too. I think because he giggled.
I'm going to say Game of Thrones didn't happen because that seems like ripped from the headlines. Like, that's just like a red herring. Game of Thrones didn't happen.
I'm going to say Game of Thrones as well because I feel like I would have heard about it.
I'm going to say that the Florida man peeing one is fake because that just seems something that would happen in Florida. You know, I can make a Florida
You know
man
what?
headline.
Gail was born in Florida, and
So insulting.
and Minnesota's the one that plays Duck, Duck, Gray Duck.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
while you're making fun of me for being Florida woman,
I don't know why a game of Duck, Duck, Gay Duck is funny to anybody.
you're the gay duck.
So let's go to Alicia in Texas. Alicia, you heard all these. You need to hear them one more time?
No, I remember them.
Okay, which is the false story?
I'm going with my man Ronnie B with the finger being bit off.
Love that. I love
Okay,
that.
good.
I'm the only one who picked it, too. Give us the true or the false story.
The fake story was the Game of Thrones attack.
Incorrect.
Oh, shit. This is still happening. All right. 844 Rock God. 844 Rock God. This sucks. We are no help again.
Oh
This
my
is
god!
like every time we play this game, who are we playing for?
We're playing for the That's News to Me segment is brought to you by Netflix and Special Correspondents. Special Correspondents is streaming now only on Netflix.
All right, Chris in Phoenix, I'm going to put you on now so that we make sure you're listening live. How are you, Chris?
Good, buddy.
Well, you know, there's 2 went down before you, so this becomes very important that you become a winner because this can't go on forever. Go ahead, Vito.
The first one is woman and son beat up for rescuing dog from hot car. The second story is man sues former employer for job he considered too boring. And story number 3 is man attacks Uber driver for not letting him use aux cord.
I don't know what that is.
It is the like you plug your phone into it and then you plug it into the car.
I've never heard it called that. I didn't know that was the name of it.
Auxiliary.
Aux cord, yeah.
Oh, all right. I just call it the thing, the wired thing. I go, Gail, put this in the wired thing. It's aux cord. So he beat up an Uber driver, or what was the sued for being the job being too dull.
And woman and son beat up for rescuing dog from hot car.
Well, I'll tell you this: somebody touches my dog, I'm whipping their fucking ass right there in the goddamn Walmart parking lot. You know, I like to keep my dog steamy.
You like a hot dog.
Yeah, I am going to. I'm going to say the second one was false. Give me that again. The
man sues former employer for
that
job he
seems
considered too
dumb.
boring.
That seems dumb.
I am gonna go with the beating of the Uber driver.
Okay.
I just feel like that just sounds a little forced. The other 2 weird enough to be true.
Also, I don't think anyone calls that wire an aux cord.
Yeah, exactly.
The Uber driver beat him up over the thingy is the fucking guy. That
You know
is
what?
the fake.
I'm going to move over to that just because I like that you said thingy. Because I think that's what I call it.
Lock it up. That's the
Yeah.
fake story.
I'm gonna join this Uber story and
All
say
right, we're
that.
all in
right.
together.
We're taking an Uber pool.
Goober, 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 Goober,
Wait, what did we say?
Goober, 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 Goober.
What's the answer?
Oh wait,
Oh, no.
don't tell me. I'm so excited.
Chris, you get the bet.
I'm going to go with Ronnie. I hope our court system doesn't take that case.
Yeah.
So,
He went with the
Uber.
board. No, he went with the board person.
He shouldn't have done that.
What was it?
Oh, no, I'm a trifecta.
Should I let somebody else guess?
Are you running out of fucking things? Is
Yes.
that it? You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. We give you one thing and you're not prepared for it. All right, Bob, there's only 2 left on this. What are they now?
The 2 options are woman and son beat up for rescuing dog from hot car, and man attacks Uber driver for not letting him use aux cord.
Uber, 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 Uber. All right, which one are you picking? Ox cord or the other one?
Oxford?
Yeah, it's the
Uber driver.
Uber driver beat up.
Yeah, the Uber driver.
Yeah.
You're the winner.
All right, congratulations. We finally got around to using one of the things at the end of it. We didn't use the bad ones all the time.
This That's News to Me segment is brought to you by Netflix and Special Correspondents. Special Correspondent is streaming now only on Netflix.
Tell Bob in Pittsburgh what he won, Chris.
He wins a copy of Bonnie McFarlane's book, You're Better Than Me, a memoir.
Oh!
Signed by Bonnie McFarlane.
Something to read in your Uber.
That's right.
I was watching this doc on Netflix the other night. I think it was called Unbranded. It was about these young cowboys. They take these Mustangs from Mexico all the way up to the Canadian border. Took them half a year, right?
Holy shit.
Half a year. Basically, just right. And it was all public land. It was all United States parkland that they went the whole way on. It was just stunningly beautiful. But at one point, they're so bored, they're just in the saddle reading books as they're driving along. And one of them was reading 50 Shades of Grey. I got this from Bill. I'm going to give it to Tom when I'm done. I got to say, I'm pretty locked into it right now.
It's pretty hot.
I would have thought books on tape would have been the way to go for if you're in the saddle.
I feel
difficult.
like the only entertainment you could have is your own guitar, writing songs. I don't even think that you could have an iPad. I think it's just wrong somehow. But now the whole reason for chaps, right? You know what chaps are?
Yeah.
The only thing for that is basically so that your legs don't grind against the saddle all day. There's no other real purpose.
I thought chaps are outside leather.
They are.
So then wouldn't that be the part that doesn't touch the saddle at all?
No, it kind of goes to the front of your pants. And
Oh,
the
I see.
sides.
So it like kind of hooks
So
around.
basically, I think just the only real reason for it that I could figure out is that you don't chafe against the saddle, which seems disgusting.
Yeah, that is
That
gross.
somebody had to even invent it. Like, man, I fucking hate riding so much. Isn't there something we could do? You think they would make it out of cotton or something?
Oh, God.
The eyes are so raw.
I might even
Just
come up with a
raw.
cotton saddle and try to take it on Shark Tank. Sharks, aren't you tired of your ass rubbing against that saddle all day?
They are very hard.
Yeah. Time for you to straddle around some cotton. So, who's ready to giddy up and on to riches? It's $5 million for 2% of my company.
When I went horseback riding in the desert, I was like through Arizona. When we had got home, when we had got back to the ranch, my butt was in like terrible pain, and a lot of people were saying like, "Oh God, my butt." And one of the cowboys came in, and we were describing like the pain, and they're like, "Yeah, that's from your bones on your butt, like on the tough saddle." And he's like, "Yep, bones are cutting the meat." And I was like, "Oh God, that's horrible." He's like literally saying the bone of your butt is like cutting the meat of your butt. Is that like it's
That's just
disgusting.
cowboy talk. That's just crazy cowboy
they're
talk.
drunk.
They think everything is meat and bone. That's it. Tatanka is what they know about. I don't know. I gotta tell you, there's something weird. The only time you ever feel like being on a horse is out west. Like if you're riding a horse in Virginia, you feel stupid, you know. But you get out
This is
west,
dumb.
and it makes total sense. Especially like in the desert. I remember I'd been to the desert on a horse with no name, and it felt good to get out of the rain. Now in the desert, you can't remember your name because there ain't no one there to give you.
So you don't have a name and your horse doesn't have a name.
That's the weird thing about it. I think I made a mistake with that.
Or is the horse not remembering his name?
The horse, I don't know if they ever know. But here's the weird thing about it. It's called Unbranded. It's just it kind of looks like it's shot just them on iPhones, or it's not like. But the America is such an unbelievably beautiful place. We forget it all the time, and then you see that these young cowboys gain a relationship with the horse that is unexplainable. You know what I mean? It's just unexplainable. You don't even have a friend that you have this kind of closeness with. You know.
I can't believe how long that you would be doing that. Half a year.
It took him half a year. Man, I wish that you guys saw it because I have a spoiler that's driving me crazy.
Fuck.
I'm going to watch it this weekend. Unbranded.
I don't know whether anybody else will like it.
I will. I know I will.
I like a good Western.
This isn't a regular Western, though. I mean, they're not.
No, they're Cowboys, though.
Well, they went to Texas A&M. I don't know if you can even call them Cowboys. This is a couple of dudes who are like, before we go out into the real world, instead of, hitchhiking around Europe or whatever, they said, what if we just take these horses up and then, shoot the movie? Hold on. I got Mr. Wonderful on the phone right now. Yes, Mr. Wonderful.
Yes, Ron. I like your idea. I don't think you've put enough effort into driving sales. For that reason, I'm out. You're dead to me.
Oh, no.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Hey, Garrison. What's up, Garrison?
I still can't figure out how you can go across the whole desert and not be able to come up with a name for a horse.
It doesn't seem like it would be a problem. I would just until I had something, it would just be horsey.
Come on, horsey horse.
Actually, the reason for chaps is to protect the outside of your legs when you're riding through brush and shit, and the inside of your legs from rubbing against the horse, which is brutal on your skin.
Okay, so it isn't dealing with the saddle; it's the horse itself, and then that keeps you from all the stickers.
Yeah,
and shit
it actually goes around your calves and then up around the front of your legs. That the part that you're sitting on the saddle doesn't have any leather material on it at all.
No, just so I know, why not have a leather seat? Why not Jim Morrison that shit?
Yeah,
Can you imagine the level of swamp ass that you would have if you had leather pants riding on a horse?
Well, these dudes were also saying this, man. They were just like, they said that their stink faction was just through the roof because they weren't, showering or anything.
just like washing up in a river or something.
Yeah, man. Like I was even watching, they were in certain rivers and they were fly fishing. And I'm like, they don't even have boots for that because those rivers are freezing cold.
Yeah.
I don't know why those are the coldest rivers that you'll ever see in your life. But I was like, man, I guess it feels good after being in the saddle all day, but still. Jason in Oklahoma.
Hey, Ronnie B.
Yeah.
Hey, chaps are also designed to keep your legs warm in the wintertime.
Yeah.
And also, if you're riding broncs, bucking horses, things like that, unbroke horses, you're breaking horses, they help you get more of a grip toward the saddle. Leather gets a better grip than like denim on leather, slippery.
I don't know how they take a wild horse and settle it down enough. I mean, that looks like the craziest thing that you could ever do. You got to go and find it, get the saddle on it, it's kicking, it's going crazy.
It's kind of the same as training any other animal or even raising kids.
Yeah, I can't do any of those things.
Giant fucking horse, though.
Yeah, it's a giant horse that could kick your jaw out. The
mentality of the horse is not that way. They're a prey animal.
Yeah.
And so if you can, establish dominance over the horse, it's just like any other animal, probably more than a dog, or a dog's not a form of predator. But anyway, that's just all I have. I'm out.
Peace. James in Fairfax.
Hey, Ronnie. Good morning, you guys. Love the show.
Thanks.
I was wondering if you might take a few minutes. We could talk about the band Journey. And I was wondering, if you'd ever actually listened to a complete Journey album.
Yeah, I have.
The first three Journey albums of Steve Perry, I think, are just fantastic as, archetypical of rock of the 80s. And I was going to point you to a song on the Evolution album. The second album was Steve Perry, called Sweet and Simple. Are you familiar with the history of Journey and where they came from?
Yes, I know they came from Santana and all that. And that's part... See, I came from a certain age where you were against corporate rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So cynical bands like Journey, Boston, Asia, that kind of stuff. I agree that there's some great musicians in the band. I think Steve Perry has an incredibly unique voice, but just look at the album covers of the band and you can see that it's a marketing design. Now, having said that, I find them to be much more fucking organic than any of the bands that are popular today. But to me, this was, well, remember that thing where he was saying they'll take everything what we hate about rock and they'll destroy it? That's how we felt about these kind of bands. And the fact that they could just, travel around with this guy that they found on YouTube and people react the same way.
That's weird.
There's a certain soullessness to that it probably affected me more as a young person than it does as a middle-aged man.
It's strange what a resurgence they've had, though, in the last, 5 to 10 years. I just feel like
a big part of it came off The Sopranos.
Yeah.
A big part of it is all about nostalgia. A big part of it is about classic rock. Radio, they have their fans and I can't, but when I hear like, Don't Stop Believing and all that, it just seems like a fucking Hallmark card to me,
Are you still listening to me? It was funny you mentioned about the artist because the artist was actually a friend of theirs.
Yeah, I get it. It's marketing.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, he was a friend, and it became corporate. The corporate bought into them when they had a hit with Infinity, but they struggled and struggled. And I guess I'm a little biased because they were my second concert. I saw them in an outdoor arena Greek-like theater in Hawaii, which held like 2,000 people. And it was their second show of their Infinity tour, with their first tour with Steve Perry before they were anybody. Mm-hmm. And but I would love for you to go back and listen to the song "Sweet and Simple" off of Evolution, and it is a beautiful blues song that is just incredibly written, put together, well produced.
Look, there are definitely songs of theirs that I like. I would tell you to go back and watch the documentary on them to tell me that I'm wrong. It's the same as the Eagles documentary where you're like, hey, do we like music more than these guys do? There seems to be a cynicism that for me came through. But a song like Lights, I think Steve Perry is one of the fucking, one of the all-time great voices. I would never want to take away your enjoyment of your band. I want you to keep on, just listening to that over and over. When I get home tonight, I'm going to listen to that song and re-examine it. All right?
Okay. Sweet and Simple.
Sweet and Simple. I'm going to be all over that tonight. All right?
I hope you're not just...
no, you definitely will.
To appease me.
No, I'm not trying to appease you. I'm definitely going to listen to it. All right.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. I love the show. Gail,
all right,
you're
buddy.
A wonderful addition. Have a good day, guys.
Sweet.
Let me tell you, when I saw when San Francisco was going for the series, and they had fucking Steve Perry in the thing, and the whole place was singing, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I love this. I think, I'm sure they're all good dudes. It's just if you came up in the time of a certain, if you're listening to Elvis Costello and the Clash and all that, you just naturally turned on, Journey. If you fucking love funk music, you naturally turned on disco. The difference is it was stuff that people used to talk about and argue about and fight about and enjoy those kind of conversations. I don't know if anyone does that with music now, I saw Vito just jumping up and down while listening to noise the other day. I'm sure he gets something out of it. I can't sit there and say, look, you're not getting something out of this, But I feel about it the same way I feel about, cartoon movies or comic book movies. They just seem more cynical, like set out to make money more than anything else. But that's the world we live in. You know, Donald Trump is our next president. We're going to have a beautiful 60-foot wall
Can't wait.
between, and if it gets done, and I believe it's going to come in under budget, we start on Canada, and then we start on one right down the Eastern Shore, so Europe can't get here. Right? I'm going to say this. Let's build it 50 yards out so the water can still get through.
All right,
you know?
like a moat.
But let's keep out most of the sea life.
Oh, yeah.
The jellyfish?
All sea life.
Yeah.
Ugh.
If I am working this experiment correctly, and I believe that I am, we'll be able to kill everything in the sea and then chlorinate the water so that the earth will be 3/4 pool water.
Perfect.
So, sharks, who wants in on the underground level of this island of an idea? And let's swim our way to success and profit. That thing should be called Shark Tank. I don't care what anybody says. If you're out, you should have to fart and shit yourself.
Do it.
It's the only way you can get out.
You're now put in the Shark Tank.
Sorry, and for this reason, I'm out. There it is. That's solid.
You can leave.
They don't leave. They're part of it. That would be Barbara Corcoran doing that. Sorry, Barbara. Rick in Montana.
Hey, Ronnie B, how you doing?
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you on the Journey situation back in the 70s, but how do you feel like bands like Climax Blues Band, Spirit, Alvin Lee, 10 years after? How did they really put a grip on what we were listening to back in the 70s? How do you feel about that? To me, they were huge.
Yeah, to me, some of those bands that you mentioned, for some reason, Climax Blues Band was very big with me. Spirit was a great band. Alvin Lee is incredibly talented. You know, what could I say about all that? There's a ton of talented people. We're doing GPS Manchester, and this is the type of scenes that we tend to get out into, things that become a little more organic than not. Even when we went back and did LA, we were finding a lot of bands that weren't necessarily part of that whole kind of industry center.
Yeah, if you're looking at certain scenes that the focus is on live music, it's going to be very different than the scenes that kind of came from producing the records or, you know, selling, you know, more business-minded scenes. Like there were a lot of those. GPS
is normally, instead of us going, here, we know this, check it out, it's what we were researching and dug more than anything else. That's why Slays Us Jam Band is his last day.
I know.
Because he would always, stay on the research thing. And we'd find these bands. Look at Detroit. We found so many bands that we fell in love with.
A ton.
We've been going through a bunch of different cities. But, you know, there's always going to be, anytime that you have anything that's profit first, right? You're going to run into a little bit of cynicism, and it happens in comedy all the time as well.
And a lot of times it doesn't start out that way. You know, certainly people, lose sight of what they were doing once you start getting mixed up with the business element or, just wanting to make money.
But if you look at certain people, let's just say in comedy, from where they are now, Louis C.K. probably got about as big as you can as a stand-up. What is next for him? And then he went off and did this web series that was completely strange, completely weird. That's much different than if you go, I'm going to try to have a network sitcom and start making this thing even more popular with the masses. Amy Schumer is at a weird crossroads. From a couple years ago, she's just working regular comedy clubs and not even headlining, to now you just see her in private jets flying around, playing stadiums. Where does she go from there? Kevin Hart just said, all right, I think I'm done doing stand-up tours. It's just because they did this giant stadium tour, At what point Do you sometimes, and I've done this before in radio, you just try to top it by making bigger rather than making it different or better.
And that's the nature if you're a creative person and you're trying to make that part of your business, that's your career.
Right.
You've been fighting and struggling and trying to like climb to the top the whole time. I don't think it's easy to turn that off once you get to a certain point.
Right.
Because that's how you've been functioning. I think it's like human nature to think, okay, now what's next? You don't think about regression as a good idea.
Go over on the iBang and check out some things today. One of the interesting things, and it's blowing up all over, is this article about this guy Mike Ward. He's the guy who's gotten in trouble where he's really he got fined $80,000, I think, in Canada, and he's put out a couple things, and it's basically called "I respect everyone, but on stage I expect no one." One of his goals is there. My goal in the next couple of years is to hurt disabled children everywhere with my comedy. Now,
you got to have a goal.
You just got to over and check it out because we're always going back and forth about political correctness. But when I start to hear it now, like when I hear, I don't know, Trump saying it or whatever, I'm like, well, what is it that you're not getting to say that you want to?
Yeah, because
is it the N-bomb? Would your life be better if you dropped that on people?
I always wonder, specifically with that word. I love the obsession of white people saying, like, well, why can they say it and I can't? I'm like, do you want to say it? Like, let's talk about it.
All the
like,
time.
let's just discuss it. I'm interested why you want to say it. I'm not judging you. I just want to know what is your fascination. It's the idea that you can't say it. But yeah, I think it's a little bit different, right? Like when you're talking about comedy or writing versus just.
But isn't that being elitist too, though? If you say, okay, but only maybe.
Maybe it is.
Being elitist a little bit.
Maybe, because there is this thing where everybody knows this. Somebody could say something that is entirely offensive, but their delivery is funny and the way they do it is great. And then another person repeats that joke. And then it's just like, whoa, what did that guy just say? And some people have it and some people don't. It doesn't.
You know what? If you heard the horrific things Chris Stanley says off air, I think Trump would be against him.
I know. I think that's true. He's he's surprisingly more chill on the air.
And I'm always going to be on the side of the, anti-PC people and free speech stuff. But I just hate the amount of idiot people that you have to protect with that. It's like, that moron gets to walk through. Yeah, the KKK guys, they're okay. Off they go. Let them through.
It's all part of it.
Shit. Them too? All right, fine.
But the New York Times used to have to do that with Larry Flynt. You know what I mean? They just had to say, look, that's a free speech issue. And they're going, really? Like a next door beaver hunt. That's what you're protecting. And they're like, yeah, I'm afraid to say it, but I am. Beaver hunt's fine, I guess, according to the New York Times. I mean, they are hunting for beaver. What are you going to do? Steve in Tampa.
You threw me on the beaver hunt, and I think how many girls from Tampa were in there?
Well, that was, that was considered a first job.
Steve in Tampa, you're talking about more recently about money thrown at comedians. The big thing more recently is Dave Chappelle and how he's like, what am I tied to this corporate thing now? Am I going to lose myself?
Yeah, I mean, that could happen to anyone. It happens.
And he just bailed.
Yeah. Chappelle is an interesting thing, and I don't, I could never say whether he made the right move or not, because it's not like life doesn't go on. It does.
And they released the third season of the show without him. They still went on with it.
Hey, Frank in Alabama.
Hey, Ron, you were talking about corporate rock like Asia and Journey. I was wondering, do you think Toto is a corporate rock band?
Yeah, I mean, that was always the thing at the time. I got to tell you, I'm much less hardline about that than I was. I mean, I was surprised that I even got the call about going back and listening to some Journey because I just feel like that's something that's like a young man's game to sit around and fight about that. But yeah, that was always the mix on Toto. But look how much Gail loves that song.
I love it. I don't care if this is corporate.
Doesn't
Feels
mean,
right
by
to
the
me.
way, just because it's corporate doesn't mean that it's awful. You know what I mean? It just means that it's closer to being without actual soul. And there's a reason why we use the word soul music.
But why does my soul feel so inspired when I hear Africa?
Well, you're kind of a, cheesy person.
Going tonight, Africa. I guess it does.
No, that's not I Guess It Rains. Isn't it The Bless It Rains or something?
Yeah, that's my big misheard song lyric. I bless the rains. But I always thought it was guess.
I guess it rains.
I guess it does.
Sometimes.
I don't know. You don't see it raining much there.
It's very dry.
Despite the fact that it's one of my favorite songs. Very misheard lyric.
Man, don't all videos suck when you look at them?
Yeah. They're terrible.
I mean, they're just drumming in that woman's office.
Yeah.
And they're like on a giant book.
It's like Sexy Librarian.
Which I think is a blue screen. I don't even think that book's actually there.
Here, pass that back over.
This thing.
Any music
Out of
video.
the cord.
Get that auxiliary cord out of there.
That aux cord is just...
Fought a guy over it the other day.
The aux cord's for music.
Any music video made in the 80s, late 70s. I'm going to say early 90s was awful.
And late 90s, early 2000s, and today. There's no such thing as a good video. First of all, shooting it on video instead of film is the dumbest idea ever.
The soul in that.
Yeah, the soul. This song makes Chris Cross cry. I mean Christopher Cross. Not those two little black kids with their pants on backwards. Those fuckers did have soul. Speaking of soul, did you see the picture up on the iBang of Britney in the swimsuit?
Oh.
She just Instagrams pictures of herself. And how old do you think Britney is now? She 40? Late 30s?
I was going to get, my first day that came to mind was 29.
I think that she is mid-30s.
I'm going to go 36.
All right, let's look.
Mid-30s.
34.
34. Well, let's look at the picture first.
Damn, Britney.
But you see her getting that thinner woman's body now, you know what I mean? Where she's lost any kind of baby curves.
It's Britney, bitch.
Yeah, I was surprised how, like, the hips, she's very skinny hips.
Yes.
Surprise.
She's like, to me, one of the most interesting, weird fucking things in history of pop music because she's gigantic in Vegas. Yet no one knows what she's doing outside of there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no new songs, there's no tours. But if you go to Vegas, it's hard to get tickets to see this show. And you don't run into people who say, oh, I'm a Britney fan. Because when you go to Vegas, they're just playing the songs while she dances around. Right. I mean, they're not even attempting to act like she's singing.
It's a dance party that you're not supposed to dance at.
Yeah,
you're supposed to watch
somebody else dance.
Now, that's a very interesting photograph. She's in this like neon green swimsuit, but then like posing in front of like a very classy painting behind her.
If you follow her Instagram, she's got the weirdest paintings around the house. There's just like angels swooping down and stuff. All right, her official bio, she's 34, but even though she's in great shape, she seems older than 34. You know, like you wouldn't have a problem if someone said 44.
She's lived hard.
She has. She's been through a lot. I mean, don't forget, bald Britney, it happened. Who knew she was going to bounce back?
I honestly believe that even today you could be arrested for having sex with her. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things.
I thought she was of age.
No, it isn't that. It isn't about being of age, but it's about mental. Whether it's wrong.
Sure.
Which is kind of mean when you think about it. Just because someone's got a problem doesn't mean they should never have sex.
I mean, she's sweet and simple, to be honest.
Yeah. You're more on simple than sweet. Gary Gulman is stopping in here in a little bit. All right, speaking about these same things, Woody Allen just did a thing where he says he really likes Miley Cyrus, and he's been following her since the Hannah Montana days.
Of course you have, Woody. Yes, that is not a shock. But he's putting her in his new movie. Or his new Amazon
Netflix
series.
or whatever it is.
It's Amazon
Amazon.
series.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to buy fucking every one of these things now individually?
Right. So this is, I think you can do that. You can buy it by episode, or you just sign for Amazon Prime, and then you.
Yeah, but what if you're already on Netflix? And then what if you're already on the Hulu? And you know what I mean? Like after a while, it gets fucking
it's
crazy.
overwhelming. I got on Prime because of Transparent.
Do you like it?
I love it.
I've never seen an episode.
It's excellent. Well, it's on Prime. It's difficult. It's not easy.
I know. I can't get there.
Once you commit to Netflix, how many of these things do I have to have?
Yeah, but then you get 2-day shipping with Amazon Prime. So.
Exactly.
2-day shipping of what?
Anything
in the
What do you
world.
mean anything I want?
Name
I
a
don't want
thing.
fucking
You'll get it in 2
You
days.
want a book? You want a toothbrush?
Yes.
What do you want?
Guess what? I can get them in an hour.
Yeah, but
I don't live in the fucking country. I can understand if I lived in the country. I live in the city.
Clothing. Anything you
Yes.
want.
There's stores everywhere between here and my house.
Electronics.
Yeah.
And they have hour shipping now.
What?
Yeah.
You guys are drunk. You seriously, we're sitting here talking about fucking corporates and you guys bow before every corporation.
Hey, I did it for Transparent. This 2-day shipping was a perk. Okay? I did it for the art.
You know what? I jumped. I'm not going to say I didn't jump to that.
I did it for
I
the
was just
shipping.
I did it all for the shipping. The shipping.
And then then you trade streaming
gonna come up
passwords
again.
like baseball cards. So you're like, I have a Netflix password. I'll trade you that for your Amazon
That's
Prime
stealing,
password.
my friend. That's stealing.
I didn't say I did it. I just said that's something you can do.
Yeah, right. Well, the fact that you bring it up.
Chris just yelled for Joe to do a parody of Did It All for the Shipping. This is never going to come up again.
We're going to talk about Amazon Prime one more time.
Never going to come
Don't
up
start
again.
working on anything before. And let's get Vito out of here. My 2 interns in. Vito's going to be around here forever. I don't need him pushing Amazon Prime as if he's doing another fucking live
Bye,
read.
Vito.
Bye, Vito. Make sure you have backup stuff next time, so you don't have to we don't have to give it out to the last caller.
Let's choose between these last two.
Joe, you done with that? I did it all for the shipping yet?
Yeah, I just wrote it.
You look so handsome.
Thank you.
Wait, are you
Laundry
the only
day.
guy in today?
No, Jambin just felt a little sick super fast. He'll be back in a flash.
Oh God, no! Not in this room. He won't be.
He could be in the
Not
boot.
in this room. Look at him in his nice jacket
He
today.
looks great. It's a very classy look.
I know,
today.
yeah. Vito said I look like I'm dressed for the VMAs. Don't know if that's good or bad, but I took
think
it.
it is
That's
good.
good.
Positive, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Everyone loves the VMAs.
Yeah.
You know what has gotten to be bigger than the Oscars and all is that museum fucking
Oh,
night.
the Met Gala.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea in the last couple of years. It's gotten massive with these gowns. And
Did you clock some of those gowns?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
who was the
Some of
winner?
those not, some of those frowns. I'm
Oh,
talking-
gowns and frowns. Who was the best dressed? Who was the worst dressed?
Was it Claire Danes?
Claire Danes. Yeah, I was just going to say that. She looked.
She was wearing a magical dress,
I
like
wanted to hold
literally
and cry
made
at
of
that, yeah.
magic.
How could that be?
Okay, it was lighting up like a Cinderella, like fairy tale.
I
it
wish
actually had
that J
little.
Law would come in wearing fire.
And she'd just be like, oh, the lighter went off.
Look at it.
That's
It
so-
lights up, and it's like a fairy tale ball gown.
So that one for the night?
I think so.
I think it's a little
really-
too gimmicky for me.
But it's so pretty.
And there's also Emma Watson looked cool, and hers was made out of like recycled cans or something.
All right,
'cause
let me
al-
see her.
She always wants to, pay it for it. Yeah.
She wants to just make sure
Yeah.
that the earth doesn't rot out when she's dressed nice. I love that kid, though. I think she's adorable.
Oh, yeah. She started like a book club around the world.
Is she? All right, I'm going to join. Well, that looks nuts.
No, that's
That's not-
2013.
Come on, dude.
It's like,
What the fuck? That's
I
like
would have brought in my
2013
vision board. It's
now.
right
Okay,
on there.
all right, here we go.
There we go.
That's made out of recycled fucking
How
bottles.
does she walk around? Somebody's going to pick up the bottom for her and walk with
She
her?
just drags it.
The red-haired kid from Harry Potter's under it. He's walking her through it, yeah. But you know who I did not like?
Who's that?
Beyonce's.
I
done
liked
with
that.
Beyonce.
That
Really?
weird condom-y
Was it
kind
I
of.
think it was the vet gala because it's latex. Like when she's about
I know.
to spray my dog.
I
right.
actually liked it. It was like kind of a weird condom with little flowers on
Would
it.
you guys please do the boot thing again today?
Yes,
I'm wearing new boots too.
Good, perfect.
I'm wearing new
Look,
boots.
Jam Band's trying to get on this, but you're sick, buddy?
What's wrong with you?
No, I'm good, dude. I just have to run over there like quick.
Oh, jeez.
Oh boy,
That's-
it's not
Yeah,
none of
let's
my
stay away from
business.
it. Let's talk to us through glass.
He's hanging in the booth. That's the box for those things.
It's like a latex dress.
Actually, she does look better than I'm normally used to seeing her. I guess I like her with blonde hair.
The blonde. Yeah.
Now, is any of that her hair?
No, that's not her hair.
It's all fake.
Then let's get Chris a wig like that so he can walk around.
Give me some extensions.
And did you see that Nicki Minaj and Madonna were matching? Which I don't know, like why they are like new best friends.
Wait, they did that on purpose?
They did that on purpose, yeah.
Dude,
No.
I know this couple, they wear the same sneakers.
That sounds dorky.
Isn't it? And they go out together.
Maybe it was
around.
on accident, though.
I don't
Could you
think
imagine?
so.
Oh, God.
It was probably
Cross
an
the street
accident.
if you see that.
Yeah,
It's like sometimes if you don't really realize you can buy the same sneakers. Oh,
Ed
that's
Brown wrote to
interesting.
me the video to Southern Cross doesn't suck. Fucking drunk centaur. All right, you might be right. I don't know.
I stand by my statements.
Gary said, be careful with the Britney mental capacity joke. Bonnie might never do your show again. I never want to offend Bonnie. Yes, we're all familiar with Toto being session players. All right.
They don't look exactly alike, Madonna and Nicki Minaj.
They're complimentary.
Yeah. They like to pay each other forward.
When's Madonna going to make it?
And
to
also,
three?
I just realized that like her chest is like out but covered in lace.
Yeah.
Like I guess with her, I'm not even shocked. I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine.
Her tits seem like they're too far apart to me, like a dangerously far apart.
I honestly think it's an illusion that is created by that black panel between them. It's like really keeping them separate in a very...
But 2.5 feet separate.
Yeah, like...
I don't think it's right.
It's freakish, Madonna.
And then Kim looked like a sexy robot. She had
Kim
like a
Kardashian?
very robotic looking...
And apparently, I don't know if it's true or not, but Kanye tweeted, who by the way is wearing blue contacts there.
Oh, I saw
he
that.
tweeted that like someone gave Kim 2 outfits and they just like ripped the dresses in half and made this one.
Okay.
So I think it's like the top and bottom are from different things.
Doesn't he make it? Doesn't Kanye make his own clothes? He
Yeah.
sews it himself, like Prince did.
He picks all her outfits.
By the way, here's the latest Prince story, and I wish Sam was here. Sam Roberts was here to hear this. So they get into the secret vault of Prince, and they're finding all this unreleased music, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a documentary that Prince produced on Coco Beware, narrated by Morris Day of the motherfucking Time.
Is that crazy or what? How bad do you want to see that documentary?
It's the only thing I want to see. I want that documentary shown on the sky so everybody in America can lay on their backs and look up and watch it together. Show it on a night sky.
I mean, I would be excited enough just to hear Coco Beware documentary. I'm already in.
Yeah.
But you add Prince producing it and Morris Day narrating it? Get out of here.
At that time, he started to think about, what about a bird to come to the ring with?
Wow.
Because you know that fucking fits perfectly with the time. They could have just started jamming. Have you heard? He's got a brand new thing. It's a bird. Coco. Coco Beware. Coco Beware to me was the best animal trainer fucking wrestler in history. I mean, if you got to bring an animal to the ring, he did more with it than anyone else.
You think he beats Jake the Snake over them?
Easily. That fucking snake never did anything.
Yeah, except for bite Macho Man, which really upset me as a child.
That was really fucking wild. when that
Really
one
disturbed
happened.
me.
Fucked up.
I cried. I'm not going to lie.
I'm going to tell everybody, and I think we've mentioned this on the air before. One of us has gotten in the ring with Coco Beware and did the bird dance, and that's Gail.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I accompanied Coco and his bird to the ring, did the bird. I hope that I'm in the documentary. That would be... And it was then that he met a young lady backstage. He said, "Kid, you have got it."
It was in Bradenton, Florida, on a dark match night. I thought it was even more exciting that it was Tony Gurria that walked you back and forth.
I know.
There he is. Haystacks Calhoun's old partner. Standing right there in front of his kids. You know what I mean?
And then George the Animal Steel was there
Yeah.
in a suit. And he's a very classy guy.
George Animal Steel comes over and goes like this. All right, you guys know the whole gimmick. You just walk down with the bird. You jump out. You just do the bird dance for a couple of minutes. And then you look to us quickly. We'll get you out before the match starts, but don't linger around in there. You'll end up getting kicked or whatever. They're very fucking safety conscious with the civilians, and they go over things all the time. You know to get right back out of there. Because I've done stuff where you go in and they go, and as soon as that happens, just jump out and just, start hauling ass. Because those guys are going to explode in the ring. And the last thing they want to see is somebody going over
tossed.
a regular guy going over the top rope like an idiot, face first.
Taking it the hard way.
Everything's, all those guys know how to fall, They know how to take bumps. Summer movie comedies 2016 up on the iBank today. By the way, today will be your last chance to get Doug Stanhope tickets to Unmasked. We have put up a wall, a Donald Trump type wall, to keep serotonins gone.
Yeah.
Out of there. His way to try to get in yesterday
What's that?
was to give me a bit that had already been on the iBank for 24 hours.
Oh, cute. Serotonin. I guess you're making the case against you, as usual.
See, here's the last thing I need. I don't need dumb help. You know what I mean?
Unmasked with Doug Stanhope's happening Tuesday.
What
May
did you
7th.
just call it?
Unmasked with Doug
It
Stanhope.
sounded like unmasked.
Unnested.
Unmasked.
Don't bother.
Okay.
Guys, please. Go over to the iBang. Sign up. There's already more people than we have room. But, your chance, last chance today. And I'll tell you this, Stanhope just tweeted it out today, too. So, no reason we need serotonin gone there. That's for sure.
No.
When you guys... we got our people coming in, too, right?
Yeah, they just signed in downstairs.
So I need to break and let them set up. We're trying to have a party for our interns today. I can't believe we're saying goodbye to both of
It's
them.
really making me sad.
And to make it a little, I did something got whipped up a little special too yesterday to make this a nice little send off.
Like what?
Like a little special surprise for someone at the table.
All right.
I think Joe might be able to help me out. With
Joe,
that
what
a
is?
little bit.
Tell us what is going on. Did he do a song?
Kashmir wanted to put a song together.
All right.
For
Well, let's just take a listen. This is your farewell song, which kills me because you've been with us for 2 semesters and you haven't done any songs. So the fact that on your last day you're doing a song,
I've been on vocal rest.
is shocking. But all right, let's take a listen to this song.
Bennington days of summer boots and hello, hello are gone. But with you here, I know Kashmir's arrow will live on. But how do you thank someone who has taken you from fashion to Ted Cruz? It isn't easy, but I'll try. If you wanted to scope, I would fast walk down the hall in leather and a chin mask to accessorize to Gail with love.
Get out! Oh my god! You're killing me. Why? And you know I love Lulu. Get out of here. Just go. Oh my god, that was so cute.
I didn't know that he was such a fantastic singer.
Oh my god, that vibrato is beautiful.
Yes. And the amount of inside jokes just stuffed into a couple of bars.
Didn't even get to Funny Girl.
Oh my god.
It's just been this has been an amazing, I can't even believe it's over. It's just been awesome.
I know, man. You're the greatest.
So sweet.
Jam Band, did you write a song about me? Ron with new songs.
Ron, you don't want me singing any songs.
GPS.
Looking into songs.
Ron with GPS song. You yelled at me and threw stuff and screamed. All right, look who it is. They're just coming directly here with nobody ready. Let's break. Let's bring in the guys, and we'll start the intern party. Hey, it's the Bennington Show. We're back. It's saying goodbye to our double semester interns. They're sitting behind the table there. Chris, tweet out the great food that the three Johns have brought in. Johnny, where's this food from?
It is from the New York Yankees Steakhouse. Located right here next to your building.
Yeah, right here in New York City. We're going to let the interns eat. Why are they... I don't know. I got to get a producer for this show so it makes a little bit of sense.
Why would they disappear?
But I was over there the other night for the big media party. Charlie Hayes and Mickey Rivers. And I think somebody must have stepped on Mickey Rivers' feet right before he came in. He was really hobbling around slow. Boys, fix yourself up a plate. This is the day that you guys get treated like kings. Anything that's left over, maybe Vito can have. Because we're not throwing him a last day party, but we all feel it coming on strong. Not a lot we can do about it. You know, Johnny Gogo's here too, and he's angling for the name Johnny $2. He's handing everybody $2 wherever he goes. Now, here's his deal, Gail. He's got stacks of $2 bills, and whenever he tips people, valets, the maid, whatever, they get $2.
Really?
A $2 bill.
Well, $2.
I go to the bank and I say, "Can I get 402s?" And they're like, "Oh boy, this guy's back again." So they used to have to order it. Now I walk into the Chase in my town and they say, "All right, we got it," and they hand them over.
Are you known for it though? Like, do people remember you when you go back places?
People give me weird looks with the $2 bills, but then now people know it and people love it, and people won't spend it. So I almost feel bad. It's currency, but people don't want to spend the $2 bill.
Well, then everybody thinks that you're using fake money.
The weirdest look was when he laid down about 10 of them on a craps table in Atlantic City, and the guy said, "In all my years, I've never seen this."
They said changing out 10 and 2s.
You know, our guy Joey, when we're up in Canada, he's always throwing toonies around like they're loonies.
Yeah.
And there's no stopping them.
Making it rain toonies.
I don't even think I know who's on the $2 bill.
Jefferson.
Jefferson?
I was hoping it was going to be Harriet Tubman to get the famous $2 bill. You know, we're going to be gone. Cash is going to be gone soon.
It should be.
Yeah.
What do you need a penny for?
You're just going to use your phone wherever you go. You'll just hold your phone up. So this way, if someone steals your phone now, they've stole all your money.
Everything.
Yeah.
You have nothing. You have nothing left.
Look at the guys who are just enjoying that food. You're feeling like real Yankees today. There's a Mets hot dog stand about 3 blocks away, too. It's a little scarier.
Yeah. Not as classy.
Not as classy. Not as many championship rings. John, how many do the Yankees stop in after games and stuff like that? Or?
Not so much after games, but off season is huge for especially their foundations. As it gears up towards the season, the Yankee sales team is usually attracting season ticket holders, bringing a player in, do autographs. So they're definitely around and an active presence in the steakhouse.
But, you know, you must get Yankee fans coming in from all over the country, too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially, you know, we're so close to Rockefeller Center that, they come in, they kind of stumble upon us and, they see the Yankee apparel on the walls and some of the memorabilia and, they can't keep walking by. They come right in.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the Yankees are that team. Like, I mean, it doesn't even come close to greatest American team of all time. And some people complain about it, but I love it. When I was a little kid, my dream was to beat the Yankees. That was the only... I think you have two dreams. Either you hit the home run that wins the series for the Yankees, or you hit the home runs that fucking beats the Yankees in the
They're
series.
definitely in there somewhere in your family.
But I hate other sports that don't have that. Like when I turn around and I go, like the Cowboys have stunk for so long now. How can you hate them? You don't have that enjoyment.
But they used to be that hated team, right? They used to be.
I grew up. I was.
still hate it.
But they're hated for no reason now.
They hate it because they're the Cowboys.
Yeah, but don't you really love it when they have a great team and then they go out? Like when San Francisco was beating them and I didn't care about San Francisco, but when they were beating them in the 80s, I was going crazy at my house just to see them lose. It's the way a lot of Republicans feel about Trump. You don't care what happens. You want him to lose. Guys, how you enjoying your food over there?
This is phenomenal. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
You guys can heat that up, too. I mean, we brought it cold, but it tastes good cold. Tastes even better hot.
What's the matter with cold steak?
They're enjoying themselves over there in a big way.
Best day of their lives.
Yeah, the Cokes are warm, though, too. Did you tweet those pictures out? You refused to.
No, they're sent. They're sent. There's a lot of pictures.
I don't know what's going on with Chris today. He's got his own, I don't know whether it's a rebellion thing or what's happening. You're like Spartacus? Is that it?
Trying to get the soldiers up. Or whatever.
What does that mean? Is that like
what did you mean by that?
I guess what's wrong with Spartacus?
Spartacus, the slave revolt.
Oh yeah,
I am Spartacus. But why would you say I'm trying to get the soldiers up?
I guess I got soldiers confused with slaves.
What soldiers? Why would you say I'm trying to get the soldiers up? What did you mean by that?
I guess start the revolution.
Against me? Is that what you're saying?
That's what he was saying.
No.
Yes, that's who Spartacus.
Yeah.
Is fighting against.
Against the stakes?
He's confused.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not good with Roman history.
Why not?
I didn't learn a lot of it in high school.
Did you learn anything in high school?
Not a lot in general.
Yeah, he's always bragging about his school because where'd you go? You went
Brooklyn
to
Brooklyn Technical High School.
Yeah.
Fort Greene.
In the meantime, the other day he said to me, "How's an iPod work?" And I go, "I'm not going to help you with that, Spartacus. Give it a rest."
Some techie.
They fit so many in there.
Yeah. What's the big story out there today, Chris? What are all the kids talking about?
Well, did you see this? All right, this has happened in Wales.
Then I probably didn't see it. It happened in Wales.
You weren't there.
Oh, this is the UFO story.
This is the unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
They have video of this unknown object flying in the night sky in Wales 2 nights ago. And after this commercial,
it looks like a nun to me. By the way, a guy
in 20 seconds.
A guy stopped me on my street yesterday when I was heading home. He's like, "Hey, do you live in this neighborhood?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Big fan." And it's a priest, Father John. I'm the priest.
Really?
Yeah, we got a priest listening every day.
Wow.
I know.
Wish I would clean up this language.
Me and him are going to get together for cigars. This is in Wales. It looks like a giant sperm going against the sky.
Looks exactly like a sperm moving across the sky.
the wake of this ship is unlike any wake we've seen in the night sky. Now, they looked...
Why would you say something that's stupid? Did you feel the need to get poetic?
Have you seen a ship
No. I never have.
This is, I mean, to be honest with you, you know, you bring up a lot of stuff that I'm going to call shenanigans on.
Thank you.
This is pretty bizarre. I can't imagine what would
the people
make
of Britain must be freaking out, huh?
Yeah, because then they looked into air traffic and no ships or planes were scheduled to be in the air at the time.
No boats.
No boats.
Captain Hook wasn't flying.
That's crazy. So what are they saying?
One theory they put out there was that it was a plane just circling around.
How's that a plane circling around?
It's not a circle.
Because then these pictures of like the airstreams were left there in the morning the next day. So that it was circling around.
And this is also in Wales.
This is all Wales, all the same place. So that there was a video at night, and then in the day, all the air trails were still there.
But what could cause the light to bend like that?
Alien technology.
It's very
Photon
weird.
torpedoes.
Yeah, that's bizarre. If I saw that.
All right, this is just in.
What's that?
There is an attack on London right now coming from spaceships.
What?
So there you have it, folks. If you have anyone in your life to run for, Chris Stanley wasn't kidding.
Thank you for once. Finally improving.
Wait a minute. What is today?
Cinco de Mayo.
All right.
What?
It's a bit, and they're doing. This is the old Cinco de Mayo bit to make us think alien civilizations are coming to Earth.
It's their fireworks that they do.
Yeah, it is.
It's display.
This is some weird Welsh fucking alien thing.
Okay, so now they're actually Welsh?
It's just because it happened in Wales.
Yeah. Tom Jones says that he's alarmed. He doesn't know what to do about it.
It is weird looking. I will tell you, I can't imagine what it could be or what kind of
The end
phenomenon.
Times. You're looking at the end times. That is being driven by Christ. And he's here with four angry horses. And they're coming for us all. It's when Ted Cruz lost. That's the end of it. Only the former workers of the Blaze will be spared from his wrath. I don't know whether you guys saw this, but Caitlyn Jenner is getting the SI cover, and she's going to be she's going to be naked, so we'll all get to see her 68-year-old cock. I don't know exactly what how naked.
I think she said she's going to be in the American flag with her gold medal.
Now, doesn't that, when you're wrapping the American flag around you, how is that different than just wiping your ass with it, you know?
And that medal was earned by Bruce, not Caitlyn.
All right, that's a very good point. That is Bruce's medal.
Shitting all over the
Until he comes back, I'm going to hold it here.
I understand what you're saying, but Caitlyn has an answer to that, and that is that she has always been Caitlyn. So really, she feels like that's Caitlyn's medal.
Then she's disqualified. You can't go into the other.
Winning a decathlon is the greatest athletic achievement.
Period.
But winning the decathlon as a female...
Phenomenal.
Against men is even the greatest.
Yeah, it's bigger than Leicester City's 5,000 to 1 shot. But, you know, when Bruce Jenner won that, and I had Bruce Jenner on the show, and when he was doing that stupid show, and all I talked to him about was the decathlon. All I talked to him about is the Olympics, because I agree with Johnny Gogo. It is the single greatest. Well, there's two things that matter in the Olympics. You got the decathlon and the 100 meters, the fastest human being on the planet, which is a phenomenal thought that you could line up everyone on the planet. We all line up on the equator and start to run, and this dude wins it all. You know, just like in elementary school, you tried to find out who's the fastest kid in class, then the fastest kid in the school. This guy did it all the way up until that. And he stayed a dude. I don't know why. But no, the Caitlyn Jenner, are you still digging that, or?
Well, I think my issue with Caitlyn Jenner is just I'm able to see her as a person, and I just feel like I don't think I would enjoy hanging out with Caitlyn Jenner. I don't think I would have enjoyed hanging out with Bruce Jenner.
They're both assholes.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about
I
that.
think she's kind of an asshole.
Yeah,
but I accept that this is, you know, her path, her journey, whatever.
Right.
I'm fine with all that. I actually just don't like her personality. That's
Probably
all.
get in trouble for that just because of the way society is now.
Society?
They're going to judge you, Gail. They're going to judge you.
Are you saying that you have to like all transgenders? Because that seems to me to be kind of prejudiced.
If you're putting someone up on a pedestal, it's the same. Well, it's not the same as treating them like shit, but it's not good.
It's the same as slavery.
It's just
yeah.
That's why people treat me so well. I totally understand.
So Johnny's the racist sexist, is what we're saying.
Guys, Johnny's PR guy would ask for it's not. It's not allowed to, in no way is Hard Rock or Yankee Steakhouse anywhere. Johnny's comments.
Johnny Go goes like this. This ends everything. Thank you for your time. But wait, I got a couple more questions. By the way, you have to be named John to work at this place.
You got 3 Johns.
It is a rule.
Yeah.
And Caitlyn could use whatever restroom she'd like at the Hard Rock.
Is that right?
Can we get the check, please?
I know this. I've used both.
Doesn't make you a bad person.
No, I don't think so. I like to be in there and have a little girl talk while I'm I'm more comfortable. Here's John. John in Louisiana. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, guys. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, I just want to give props to Chris Stanley for getting me tuned in to Silicon Valley, and TJ Miller. He's fucking hilarious.
It really is. Well, TJ Miller is a hilarious guy, but that is my probably go-to sitcom. That and Veep I might too.
Well, Sunday night's fucking brilliant. You got Tits and Dragons, you got Silicon Valley, you got Veep. It's perfect 2 hours.
Why does every show have to come out Sunday night? It's very, very
It's very
annoying.
stressful.
Yeah, it's too much for me.
And
then I got nothing to watch on Monday.
Thank God RuPaul's Drag Race is on Monday because
Is
I
it?
would really be in trouble.
I watched the Rob Lowe get together Grinder, and I may be the only person in America. And I find it to be hysterical.
We used to have Better Call Saul, but then that's gone.
No problem there.
Are you done with it?
Yeah.
Second season annoyed the fuck out of me. And why even have like the flash forwards at the beginning of the season?
2 years, and he hasn't been called Saul yet.
It's never going to happen.
Saul. I mean, this is like a Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner thing.
Do you accept his journey, though?
Yes, I accept his journey, but I want him to get to Saul. I like Saul better than Slip and Jimmy.
Slip and Jimmy's a chump.
It's too much. The TV is too much responsibility now. And Silicon Valley is really entourage for nerds, where if something good happens one week, something bad happens the next week. Then guess what? Something good's going to happen the week after that.
We got funding.
Yeah. Oh, guess what? We lost our funding.
No!
Funding's back on.
Yeah!
Guess what?
What?
Somebody just took our funding.
Shit!
Oh, no.
More funding.
Yes!
Yeah, way to go, little bro.
By the way, you're going up to the Montreal Comedy Festival, right?
I am, yeah.
RuPaul will be attending this year, from what I understand.
Wow. That's
I know you
exciting.
got to meet RuPaul.
I did, very briefly, though. It was a very brief meeting.
Who was the other drag queen that you were excited about?
Well, that would be Alaska Thunderfuck.
Yeah. Now, here's what happened with this. So we're walking out to the elevator, and Gail just starts to get, like, limp, like, oh, what? She's like, isn't that Alaska Thunderfuck? I'm like, what? That's Alaska Thunderfuck. And I'm like, I have no idea.
Well, I
what
passed
you're
her, and like the
talking about.
first thing that just came out of my mouth to her, I just went, Alaska. And she was like, hi.
Is that what she does?
That's her thing.
Sounds like a Kardashian almost.
Okay. Not when we're going to be there. I'm sorry about that. That's stupid for me to bring up dumb things. So
Why did you do it?
I don't know. I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. I got to check myself because I just wrecked myself. Chris, give me another big story. And keep plugging away. You know, the boys are here. They got steaks. This restaurant's great.
New York Yankee Steakhouse is located in Midtown Manhattan at Yankee Stadium and in Coconut Creek, Florida. You go to nysteak.com for more information.
I've got a story for you.
Good.
Apparently, chest hair is back in.
I didn't
They
know.
have made an official statement that chest. I didn't know it was out.
Me and Burt Reynolds had no idea there was a problem with chest hair.
But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, sometime in the 80s, there was no chest. That was like models were no chest hair. 90s, it continued. We're back in. Models have chest hair. Sex symbols, chest hair. Hairy guys are back in.
I feel better about myself right now.
Interesting.
I don't. I just came back from the wax.
Chris, you're patchy. Is
Yeah,
he
I'm patchy.
patchy?
I'm patchy at best.
I don't think you're patchy.
Well,
I think
I'm
you
like-
have
I'm like
no
a
chest
twinkish.
hair.
Very twinkish. Me and Joe are twinkish.
You're out of style, my friend.
Joe, you're without
Shit.
chest hair?
Yeah, it doesn't come in, full and thick.
That's a lack of testosterone, that's all.
I do 20 push-ups when I wake up.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean testosterone. Yeah. Do you think your hair is going to come out of your chest by doing that?
Well, that's what I was told.
It was the first James Bond with Sean Connery.
Sean Connery, yeah.
Had to be the hairiest sex symbol in history. I mean, he was just a firm mat.
Yeah,
He
was
basically, there was one picture of him going into the woods looking over his shoulder. Kind of a blurry shot. But yeah, that was a lot of chest hair, and that was the 60s.
Yeah.
And that was considered masculine.
Now, Tom Selleck also a very
Tom Selleck of the 80s, yes.
Yeah, hairy sex symbol.
I don't know whether you could call him a sex symbol, but Robin Williams was actually frightening for the amount of. He had more hair on his knuckles than most people have on their heads.
I was going to go with George the Animal Steel for hairiest.
We were just
and
talking
sex
about
symbol.
George the Animal Steel before you came
That's
in.
so strange.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he was very hairy, and he oftentimes would get that like upper shoulder hair.
Sure.
Like I think he started to maintain
That's
it a little by then, but early Robin Williams, there was like you could see the shoulder hair was.
What did you ever
full
see
on.
Modern Romance with Albert Brooks?
Mhm.
And he's just hair all over him, and he's just like, Desert Inn has heart.
The Desert Inn has heart.
I know who you're calling retardo, son.
Yeah, that's a lot of shoulder hair.
Yeah.
It's back in.
How about back hair? Is that in? Is that out?
I think that's still probably. I don't know if ladies are ready for the back hair yet.
Yeah, but
baby steps. Baby steps.
We'll get there.
Some
It's
dudes
swinging in
are.
your
Where's our guy? Come on over and give it to us, Casimir. You can share a mic here with me.
Yeah, come over here.
You come over here. Let Johnny Go have his mic. How's the scene feel about men with back hair? Bears, if you will.
Bears, yeah. Bears are always roaring, but you got to find a special little cub for that. I think,
it's like fetish.
It's a fetish thing. Yeah.
Are you pro bear?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Because I have chest hair, which I love.
Sure.
That's why I always unbutton the top button. I always unbutton that a little bit.
Let it air out.
Yeah, free show. Yeah. So I'm all for it. And also, razors are hard. And I've to this day. Like that Seinfeld episode when he shaved and it came back stronger and power. I've been terrified to shave almost.
Oh
anything.
yeah.
So I say
that was always and it may be a myth, but if you shave it, it'll come back heavier and deeper, and that's why they get people into waxing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's that blunt cut of the hair, then it comes back really straight.
But dude, would you have a problem if anyone's you turned out to be anyone's fetish? You know what I mean? If someone just said,
effortless.
Oh God, I'm so into radio performers. I'm so fucking turned on. You're like, I don't think I like this.
You're using me.
Yeah, talk into the mic. That's it. Talk into the fucking mic. Throw it to break. Throw it to break, please.
We'll be right back.
Oh, you jumped right into it, huh?
He knows his place.
Now, what about your girl, Chris? What's her story on your look? Is she? Did I never see her coming around?
She didn't like the beard or long hair. I'll tell you that much.
No.
Well, I look like a crazy Taliban person, especially with the beard. The hair was okay.
No, did you point out to her she had a bolt through her nose?
That was
fine. I don't think that if you got a big bolt through your nose, you can't be commenting on someone else's look.
Well, I like the nose. I like piercings in general.
But the nose piercing.
Yeah, I think that's cute. Yeah, definitely.
What else do you like pierced?
I like now. There's this new thing where it's dermal piercings, where it's just maybe dimples in the back, but it's just piercings.
So it's like a surface piercing.
Yeah, surface piercings.
Yeah. So it's like a curved bar.
Or just a stud.
Yeah.
And how's that work for you, Chris?
It's just aesthetically pleasing. I don't know. It's just it just draws the eye to a good place.
But then what happens if you?
Right. It's a good place right there.
Yeah, right. I mean, come on.
What happened if you are going to the Bahamas and they stop her? You know what I mean? That's got to be a little bit annoying and embarrassing.
Well, I'll tell you, take them out before we go on the goddamn flight.
How's she going to take them out of her back? Once they're in there, they seem like they're in to me.
Yeah, it seems pretty hard to take it out.
Yeah.
But there has to be an exit plan on these things. They're not forever.
See, those aren't studs. That's a bar that curves underneath. And so the bar goes through and underneath the skin, and then there's two
and
little
hooks into the bone. Is that it? Is that what we're looking for?
Not all of them. Some they do the subdermals too. The subdermals are that's just a stud right into your skin.
Oh, really?
That's what Johnny's into.
Okay.
Yum. All right.
He's got the gauged out ears.
Is that your thing?
No, I have one piercing. That's it.
Yes.
No, I'm not into piercings really. It's kind of sexy.
Would you say that you have any fetish though, Johnny?
Not really.
Mine, and I have had it since I was a kid, it always turns out to be white girls. I know it.
That's weird.
Crazy.
That's really weird.
I just have a thing for white girls.
Just love them.
Yeah. My dad was the same way. Really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The white mom, it's like an Oedipus thing.
Yeah, that probably because I had a white mom. Is that sick? That I want a white girl? Seems kind of weird. I hate to bring it up places, though.
Oh, it must be
Would
so
you
embarrassing.
say that you have a fetish for anything?
For the piercing shit.
Just piercing is number one.
And tattoos.
But you don't have any piercings or tattoos yourself?
Zero. I have no interest in getting any either.
Why? Why do you like tattoos so much?
I don't know. Maybe it means something like the woman is will take more risks or something. I'm not
You're
sure.
like a risky woman.
It's a bad girl look.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Bad girl look. Yeah. But
Then you do what? Ride on the back of her motorcycle?
Not so fast.
Yeah.
Sidecar.
I'm crazy.
Sidecar's right. What about you, Johnny Go-Go? What's your thing?
$2 bills. And, I have a weird, like a pigtails schoolgirl thing.
That is uncomfortable.
I'm glad Gail's not in pigtails right
Yeah.
now. Oh,
Oh, God.
Do you know that's really bad?
Boots from the Hard Rock.
Seriously. Do you know the uncomfortable billionaire that I won't
Yes.
go to those parties? You guys know who the uncomfortable billionaire is in New York? Supposedly, this guy was tied in the 90s with him, and there's some shit coming up. I'll just say it. It's Trump.
that makes a lot of sense.
But these are the ones that Woody hangs with,
Yeah.
and supposedly Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
This dude is quite popular.
Yeah. Even though I don't know why you do it, because there's pictures of him in the Post all the time.
Yeah, there are photographers that when they know when he's in town because they know what his private jet looks like because it's a very unique private jet, and then they just hang outside his apartment and take pictures of everyone, women, men, doesn't matter who, and profiles all of them.
He throws a lot of parties for comics. Comics go over there.
Yeah.
You won't go.
Oh, don't. You'll
No, I don't want to bring any attention to anything.
You'll be in the Daily Mail.
Yeah, the Daily Mail. People in London are like, what's wrong with that dude? But Johnny Go-Go, I can get you in if you want to, live you out your fantasy pigtailed life. That's really, that's a scary one. That's one of the ones you can get in trouble for. Yeah. No one cares about this.
I was joking.
Walking it back.
I get it now. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes obvious is the funniest joke of all. I mean, this fucking bolted up asshole wants to see a woman with a trash can lid in her back so hard. That's fine. You're going to end up having cyborg sex one day.
That's fine.
You would?
Yeah. Like if sex robots, sure.
You just turn your back on your species, dude.
You gotta give it a shot, right? With the sex robot.
Then why don't you put a dildo up your ass tomorrow? Because that's all it is. That's all that is. It's nothing else but that. I honestly consider anyone who uses a dildo, they're using a robot.
It has a motor. It's fucking outside power.
Yes.
That's two things that qualify as a robot. Has a motor, outside power.
Well, we're trying to build this thing here.
Cars are now robots.
And Ronnie, was it Sleeper where they had the
Yes, it
orb
was.
and then they had the room, right? What was it?
And who directed Sleeper? Do you remember?
Woody Allen.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
Interesting.
Your witness, sir. And it had outside power.
Motor.
Seriously,
Power.
if fucking aliens took Chris Stanley, they would be so confused about the way our planet works.
They'd leave us alone, probably. No
Give
hope.
you guys a primer on the human race.
One more,
If I was shaped like the sperm.
please, one more time. Try to make some sense out of yourself. Stop talking so fast. You're flipping out.
Tell us about Roman history.
It's a planet of degenerates.
Yeah.
New York Yankee Steakhouse is located in Midtown Manhattan
Why tie it in?
at Yankee Stadium and in Coconut Creek, Florida. You go to nysteak.com for more information.
Hey, why don't you take your gal over there one night, Chris?
And maybe I will.
If you go,
Yes.
try to dress up as, maybe you dress up a little bit, like
What's that?
a movie character.
I got a college
The other
shirt.
night he came dressed as taxi driver.
He thought it was a costume party or
Try
what?
to bring back that army jacket look, and no one's fucking following me through.
You still have the napkins in your pocket.
They're upstairs.
Here's what's embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
You were wearing an army jacket.
Yeah.
You were perfectly of age to sign up during 9/11,
Yeah.
and you didn't.
No.
And now you have the balls to wear the jacket.
It's just, it was affordable at the time, the jacket, and it keeps you warm.
Affordable. They handed out to homeless people.
It's well made.
I don't know. Why didn't you serve?
I don't think it was for me. The discipline and going overseas. Am I going to make it through fucking boot camp? No.
I think you could.
They're going to drill me out of that fucking place.
I like your two problems with it here. Discipline and travel.
Hot over there.
The travel
Right?
I know. Oh, they said during the Vietnam War, those guys were exhausted. There's so much travel. Yeah. It's not so much Charlie and his bullets. I can't get used. My sleep is off completely. I feel like it's 3:30 in the morning now.
Everyone else feels like this.
I'm falling asleep in the foxhole during a firefight. This is terrible.
And I'm not an adventurous eater. All these new foods.
No, I'm a meat and potatoes guy. You're one strange bastard. Seriously.
Yeah.
I will say this. I'll accept Caitlyn Jenner as is before Chris Stanley. Right now. I'm willing to say what Caitlyn Jenner is normal and what Chris Stanley is not.
I just wish Caitlyn would take the plunge and get the surgery. Then I would.
Why is that your business? Why do you wish this? I want to know why you wish
It shows dedication.
You just told us you have no dedication.
Discipline. But if I were of the mind to say, like, look, I'm transitioning, like
I feel like you are. You're transitioning into some other species.
The only thing I talk about is getting the surgery. That's it. That's
the first thing I'm talking about.
I feel like you are transitioning into a humpback whale. And I like just to see you put a blowhole in the back of your skull and start eating more kelp. But Gail came up with a good point. Why is it important to people every day to know whether or not she has a penis or not?
I don't know. How much are you thinking about everyone's genitals all the time?
Well, whenever Caitlyn Jenner comes up, I'm thinking about the genitals.
Why? But why?
Because she has a reality show about it, and she was the one who made the big
She
deal about
doesn't have a reality show about her genitals, I assure you.
I would love to watch that. No matter who,
Are through the roof.
no matter whose genitals they are. There could be a show on called Guess the Genitals. And I'd just be like this. I believe that's Tom Selleck's penis.
The hair alone. So unkempt.
But you're willing to say that Caitlyn is a woman without doing anything to her penis, right?
Yes, I'm willing to say that that's how she wants to be identified.
So if Chris Stanley came in here tomorrow and said, I'm a woman, I'm still staying exactly the same, I'm not making any changes, I'm not even shaving my face,
I guess,
would you call him a woman?
If he wanted me to, I would, but I would probably bring up to him, why am I putting more effort into your transition than you are? I would probably mention it.
Oh, so I get to be attacked when I want to transition.
No,
but Caitlyn Jenner gets fucking carte blanche.
I'm just gonna ask why I have to do the work for you,
right?
And just say, please refer to this person as she when you speak to her.
Doing the same way. Remember when that woman got busted when they found that she wasn't black? She was in the NAACP.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same thing as Caitlyn Jenner, though? She just identifies as black.
I had this conversation with a few friends, and I made that point. I said, one thing I don't understand, but I'm willing to say this is the way you feel, and I accept you. Why would this be any different? And they were very upset with me, and they assured me that it's very different. But I was not convinced. But they were very passionate and making it seem like I had been very offensive by having brought up that point.
See, that's the thing of PC. You just never know. You're just walking around landmines all the time. If Chris Stanley claims he's a sperm whale, I'd like to see him in the water. I know for a fact he doesn't swim.
I mean, nothing more than 3 feet.
I would appreciate it if you all would call me a whale.
Can you imagine a guy who lives on an island and doesn't swim?
No.
That's the scariest thing in the world to me.
It's only an island if you look at it from the water.
All right, that's good. Jaws reference.
Jaws reference.
Deep. Yeah. Welcome to Quint's Shark Mouths. Got all kinds of shark mouths up on the... not moving anyone. I'm really nervous. We're going to be out of business here by September. But Chris, what if we got you lessons? Would you learn to swim?
Yeah, it'd be great.
We're going to Periscope. We're going to Periscope them, too.
Sure.
Great.
This is great. You really will learn this summer to swim?
Hey, I stopped smoking. Might as well learn how to swim.
He's right, man.
Yeah,
Stop smoking. And you're done now. You quit smoking. It's over for you.
It's 6 days. 6 days. Well, what's so? This is the longest I've gone
somewhere.
without
You got to start somewhere.
I'm guessing a decade.
Yeah.
It's tough to smoke while swimming, so it goes hand in hand.
That's true. Although I've seen it done. This was my grandfather swimming around with a cigar. He would hold it up above the bay, and I'm not even making that up. He'd keep it high. You splash with me. Hey, watch it. Stop splashing around here. People are smoking. And you'd be like, here's a quarter. Get a new cigar pop. These sawdust stogies he had going. But that's great that you, as of now, you officially say, I quit.
Yeah. Yeah. That fucking sickness last week fucked me up bad.
And you're done drinking. That's gone for you.
That's gone for now, yes. But
good.
But you've been on this
he's on
thing
the
for a
health
long
kick. Yeah, he's
time
a
now.
health kick.
Yeah.
3 months, I think it's at this point, or 11 weeks, something like that.
You know what it sounds like you might be doing? Trying a vegetable.
Transition.
Transition.
That's moving way too fast for me.
I like the idea, though, Chris.
You know,
Chris Stanley, the transitioning man.
Feeling good about myself, you know?
No, yeah, you should be. You kidding me? Your life is together. Maybe it's time you got down on one knee and asked that gal to marry you.
Oh, no, that won't be happening.
Why not?
Not the marrying kind, Ron.
Oh, wow. We'll be saying to Chris Stanley, he never took a bride. Never took a bride. Of course, neither did Kashmir. So, wouldn't that be funny if we found out these two had something going on?
Oh
the
my
whole time?
God, that's what's been going on.
Not while he was an
He was
intern.
my north, he was my south, my east, my west. That could be you.
Look, I love Kashmir.
4 weddings and a funeral.
Platonically.
And all 4 weddings will be you, and so will the funeral. 4 weddings and a funeral, the Chris Stanley story. Gary Gulman's coming in 10 minutes. Have you watched his special yet, Chris?
Yes, I have.
Fucking unbelievable.
It's so goddamn funny.
It's fantastic.
It's humbling.
It's called It's About Time. It's streaming now on Netflix.
Yeah, it's great.
Everybody should check it out because it is super, super funny.
Too funny in my book. A little too funny for me. Actually started to annoy me after a while. Kirk in Houston.
Hey,
Yeah.
now that Chris is not smoking, what the hell do we send him? Cartons of what?
Well, still like that herb, right? You haven't smoked any weed all this time.
Nope, I haven't smoked weed either.
God, you're pure right now.
That's
Wow,
weird.
pure as the driven snow.
Straight edge, Chris.
I won't say
You gonna
straight
X
edge. I'm just no. I'm
Yeah,
not
you
Start
straight
X
edge.
up.
Straight edge.
Get the X tattoos if you really, you're really gonna
I
commit.
don't like tattoos.
I thought you were about commitments.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, come on.
Make the commitment.
Make the commitment.
No.
Who is the most famous straight edge person of all time?
I don't know. I can't think of who the most.
What about Henry Rollins? He's always been straight edge,
Oh
right?
yeah, he is straight
And
edge.
that dude from Minor Threat. I don't know.
The fact that he's the dude.
That-
Ian
yeah.
MacKay. Ian MacKay.
Gene Simmons.
Straight edge?
Yeah, has never
No
done
herb?
a drug, no nothing. Yeah, no
How about
alcohol.
Trump? Says he's never.
Donald Trump is straight edge. Yeah.
Who's the wrestler?
Donald Trump?
No, yeah, he actually yes.
Why? What wrestler is straight edge?
What's his name?
Hulk Hogan?
No, the one. No, that's a whole different.
Mickey Rourke.
No, the one he's now an MMA guy. That was his whole thing. He was the straight
Brock
edge
Lesnar.
guy.
Is it Brock Lesnar? Wait, Vito knows. Vito knows.
CM Punk.
There you go. Thank you.
CM Punk.
That was his
What's a
whole
Sam
thing.
stand for?
It's a mystery. He changes it all the time. Nobody knows. His real name is Philip Brooks. So it's
All
not
right,
his
so
real
that's it.
Oh, Phil.
So Bill Brooks Punk.
CM sounds much better.
Does it?
CM is weird initials.
Yeah, it doesn't go
Yeah.
together for me.
CM.
Mm-mm.
It's not-
Couldn't do it.
No.
I think SE is the best initials. SE Hinton, SE Cup.
Essie Cup.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out the Trump years as we go along.
And then you can say it like Essie.
yeah.
Like, hey, Essie.
SE, come home. Just running after her wherever she goes. Well,
Now Chris will be the next celebrity straight edge.
dude, he'll be up
edge.
4 o'clock in the morning jogging probably through the
God.
streets like Rocky.
Makes me wanna vomit.
Da-da-da.
Drinking raw eggs.
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Gonna produce now. Book the show now. Lost my list. My to-do list. Forgot that I was supposed to take care of that.
Yeah.
We didn't do the spots today.
Probably shouldn't have been jogging this entire time.
Dude, you should start jogging in from Queens every morning.
No, thank you.
Just walk in.
No, man. Fuck that.
How many miles do you think it is
I
from
think
here?
it's 2 miles.
It takes me 45 minutes to get to work.
Fuck
You
that.
could do a triathlon, swim.
Love that.
You do it.
Dirty.
What about the old triathlon where you would drink, smoke, and then take pills?
Oh, fuck. That sounds great.
The gold medalist in that one.
Oh, he's moved on now from his cigarettes and he's drinking fast. Dude, the last time that you drank, that didn't set you off. You claim it was 2 bottles of vodka.
Yeah, it was. I drank straight up to the head, too, and with beer chasers. So I was taking shots of vodka and with a beer chaser, 2 straight full bottles of vodka.
Ooh. You know how great that'll sound in a meeting? Everybody's going, oh, yeah, this guy's got something. You know, this is no, this is no poser. He's one of the real guys.
And then woke up in the hospital.
Yeah. I hate when anyone starts bragging in a meeting. I'll just go like this. Did you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. Every day.
Because then it sounds like you're still kind of in it. If
Yeah.
you're still bragging about it, then you think it's something worth bragging for.
Yeah, well, everyone does. Shit, everyone does. You just feel like, well, I looked death in the eye, snorted it, and then finally quit. And I'm back here with you people.
Is anyone ever in AA and they just say, like, I'm not that good of a drinker? Like,
I'm going to tell you something. There are a couple of women in there, elderly women, that I think just like the social aspect of it.
Really?
I think so. I
Like
think
a
they're
Fight
just-
Club situation.
Precursor to Fight Club.
They go like,
Yeah.
I always drank alone when no one was around. You know, and you'll, like, they'll take the mic and you'll see them start to talk, and you're just like, they just want to interact. And I'm like, that's nice too. That's good. And then the homeless people just come in and just put cookies in their pockets. Every day, every step is important. And you're like, go ahead, take the fucking cookies. They're good for you. They're healthy. But I like to get you in there, Chris. I would. I like to get you and your girl to come with you the first day. Weird. We could work that out. Why is that weird?
Just the whole, process.
Explain.
It isn't a process. You're not signing into anyone. By the way, here's something I want you to do. There's this, I think it's called, the name of this sandwich. It's something like the Fatty sandwich or something.
All right.
It's up on the iBank today. It's a 5-pound sandwich that you can get free if you can eat it in 40 minutes.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'll pay for it and take some home.
Oh, no, I'm wrong. It's a 10-pound sandwich.
What?
Oh my God.
It's a big fat fatty.
All right, the big fatty sandwich. What's all in there?
Okay. There is 5 cheeseburgers, a full cheesesteak, a pound and a half pastrami, 5 eggs on a giant garlic bun, 10
One slice of cheese, though.
Less than the fat.
10 chicken fingers, an order of mozzarella sticks, bacon, onion rings, chili, marinara fries, and finally garlic aioli sauce.
So this is something you're supposed to get for the table, I guess, right?
I guess.
So do you
It's all
have
the worst
help?
foods put together.
That sounds good,
No.
You could eat it
You have to eat it alone?
Yeah.
It sounds lonely.
It's only 50
and
bucks.
horrible.
It's going to be more than that.
How much is it?
$50.
You forgot the onion rings.
$50 is a cheeseburger in Midtown.
Chili.
That's why there's 5 of them in there.
Fries. They're excited.
Oh my Lord.
And what are they? Oh, garlic.
Didn't look like they put enough of that sauce on there.
Drown it, buddy.
A little
Drown
more.
it.
Heavy on the sauce, please.
Open face? How is that insult?
It's like a sub you would get at the Super Bowl.
And can I get a Diet Coke too? Thank you.
Where is this, Chris?
Someplace.
It's got to be like Minneapolis or something.
Oh,
Joe. But it's
Minneapolis
the worst
freak.
place.
We did it.
Yeah.
It's in Los
Duck,
Angeles.
duck, gray duck. They play duck, duck, gray duck.
I've heard.
What an idiot.
I don't
Yeah.
believe
What does
it.
that even mean?
We have T-shirts. We made T-shirts.
Who's
about
wait?
it. Minnesota.
You and Prince before he passed away?
The replacements were there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
Sing one replacement song. Thank you, Joe. That's all you need to say. He brings them up constantly. He knows nothing of them.
Husker Du, Soul Asylum.
Those are other bands. That's not songs by the Replacements. I don't even know. Soul Asylum's from Minneapolis?
Yeah, they're from Minneapolis.
All right, we're going to be perfect for this
Okay.
Minneapolis GPS. All right, GPS this
Saturday, 3 p.m. on Deep Tracks Channel 27, and it's going to be GPS Manchester.
And to the three Johns, thanks for stopping in.
Thanks
today,
so much.
guys.
Thank you for having us.
We should start doing this once a week. Just a chance for us all to get together. We're all Midtown buddies. We can talk about the pluses and minuses of working in this crazy city. Wild.
Can we just ask that Vito and his Met hat not eat the Yankee Stadium?
He will not get anything.
He won't even
Vito.
get anywhere near here.
Vito, take off that hat and stick it up your ass. It's the only way that we're through this.
The New York Yankee Steakhouse is located in Midtown Manhattan.
John, killing it over there, buddy.
At Yankee Stadium and in Coconut Creek, Florida. You go to nysteak.com for more information.
I'm going to come in the night that Lou Gehrig's at the bar. Gotta be there for that one. We should do Dead Yankee Night, where you just dress up as dead Yankees. How many people want to be Thurman? I know I do. Was I the only one watching that game on the TV?
I saw it.
Were you on TV when it happened with Thurman?
I was watching
the plane going down.
The New York Yankee Steakhouse.
At the event, at the event, Thurman was in the game that we had on the screen.
Oh, yeah. But do you ever see the one where the day after the plane went down and they're in the dugout crying? I never saw something so emotional in my life.
Jesus. I'll go home and watch it.
I never watched a game crying that wasn't a Phillies game in my entire life. All right, we'll be right back with Gary Gulman.
Welcome back to Bennington. Gary Gulman's in studio.
Thanks, everyone. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
You can watch Gary's new special, It's About Time, streaming now on Netflix. And Gary will be headlining the Gramercy Theater in New York City Saturday, May 21st at 8 p.m. Go to GaryGulman.com for tickets and all additional dates.
Yeah, there are about 15 tickets left for that show, so get them quickly.
I'm going to get all 15. I want to be there for this. The new special, which I call Not Now, Dottie, is, I think, one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. The writing is unbelievable.
You really watched it?
It's so fantastic.
Wow, thank you.
It's fantastic.
I don't want to sound like too much of a fan, but I've watched it twice.
Oh, wow.
I watched it the first time just to
I didn't think you
enjoy.
would have time, but thank you so much. That really makes my day.
You know, Gail and I were actually talking about this. We called right after we watched it. We're like, you could have just put this into a book, and it would have been a funny book. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that with many specials. But the wording, the phrasing, this thing is not just funny, but it's really clever.
Yeah, it's very readable.
Thank you. How hard do you work material like that? I mean, you're really just shaping stuff.
It took years. I mean, my last special I shot in 2012, and up until I shot this one in 2015, I was still working on the wording and adding things such as not now, Dottie, you vulgar lush. which is my favorite.
I love that line.
Also.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite piece in it. But then the Trader Joe's stuff, which, by the way, I know nothing about.
Oh, wow.
I've never been in a Trader Joe's in my life.
You gotta go.
And I was just all caught up.
Yeah, it's about the Trader Joe's at 72nd on Broadway on the Upper West Side. It has 2 floors, and the people there are maniacs.
Well, we were talking about political correctness, and you decide in your thing to really wrap your arms around it. Everybody else is battling, do you do everything political correct? But what's so funny about this is that your attitude is that you're so sure all these things are correct and important. What bag you have, what you're eating. That's the stuff that slays me the most.
I think it's so fantastic, the style that you have with these kind of asides or almost like footnotes within your story where you delve really, really deep and then like come back out the other side. It's fantastic. So funny.
Thanks. I ripped off David Foster Wallace, who's famous for taking footnotes to paragraph after paragraph. So,
and yet he didn't do it on stage like that. That's the difference.
Rarely.
Like I said, but and then I just thought of how he ended up. I hope you're okay, buddy. I hope you're all right.
No, I'm okay.
Good.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
The last time we saw you, you were kind of down.
Yeah, but I'm better now. I've adjusted my cocktail of medications and I've found the trick. So I'm doing much better.
Now, does that stay that way, or you're going to have to adjust again later? Do you think?
There'll probably be some later adjustments, and I should exercise more. Exercising usually helps me. So.
Chris just started. Now he's going to start running to work every day.
He's going to run to work every day and swim in the off season.
Even though he hasn't swam yet, he doesn't know how to swim.
No,
really?
And he lives on an island, and that's a little nerve wracking. But
you live on Roosevelt Island?
Island of Queens.
He's heading
live in Queens.
He's
Okay,
heading
I
that
see.
way.
Close
There's
to
no
Roosevelt.
doubt.
Yeah, can't wait.
Have you been to Roosevelt Island since the new Roosevelt Park? I hear it's amazing.
No, I haven't
want to
been.
go over for it.
I have not been there in a very long time, but I
Yeah.
want to check it out.
The whole island, all those hospitals are going down on the south end.
Yeah.
And is being turned into, I think, Cornell University, which it's hard to believe how many people they stick on that little sliver of an island.
Wow, that's true. Yeah. And in that tram that goes over there.
The tram goes over, which I don't know whether anyone else has ever seen this. I've seen a guy riding on top of the tram.
No.
And I called about it, and they go, well, he does that every morning. He has to make sure that the wiring up. And he is not locked. He's not belted in.
Wow.
He just stands there. And he was like drinking. It looked like a juice box to me, but I'm not exactly sure. And treating it like it was the most normal thing. But I would have been over on top of that, and I would have been screaming the whole way. And I wanted to make it into some kind of Evel Knievel special. It would never be normal to me.
It is his normal day.
Are you hearing back from a lot of people about this special now?
Yes, more than any other special I've done.
Sure.
I've heard back from a lot of people, which is really nice. I've been it's invigorating. It really feels good.
I gotta think a television production company could think to themselves, "This is visual enough to do." I was going crazy
Imagine.
watching this.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's phenomenally funny. It really is.
Oh wow.
You know, Gary and I just did the
Doug Loves Movies.
Yeah, the craziest game show.
Yeah, that
where
was so much fun.
You never know what the game is and why you're in it. I've never been in a thing where the host and the crowd understand so much more of the workings than the people on stage. And only half of us had smoked marijuana before we came out there.
It keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, I would not be able to do it if I smoked marijuana.
Yeah, me neither. It slows me down too much.
But I kept yelling for you to hit the apple as the apple was being passed around.
I know. I would have
Peer pressure.
I would have done very poorly had I had anything off that apple.
Well, one of us was just like this, but because sometimes you had to answer your name and you just hear this, Bobby.
Yeah. Bobby Moynihan was really funny. I mean, to make that funny, that was how you would buzz in. You would just say your name.
It was always a question.
Yeah, and he was able to turn that into
And
something
most
funny.
of the answers had to do with Bobby Moynihan movies, which is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
And Amy Miller would say her full name. She was sure that it was for branding purposes. Amy Miller.
Brandon. And then later I said Ron Bennington of Sirius XM because I was trying to say, I got what you're doing, Amy. I know where this is at. But that was a blast. And you just walk up in front of this crazy audience that sometimes you stop the game and you're throwing donuts at. None of it. I felt like I was on Japanese TV.
You guys did a lot of donut breaks.
I used to think it was just T-shirts that people lost their minds over receiving, but it doesn't matter what you throw to the audience; they will go crazy. And in this case, it was donuts.
They brought the donuts. The audience brought the donuts and then screamed for you to throw them back.
Give us back our donuts, please.
And I kept looking over at Doug Benson like, this is normal? You know, do you...
Yeah.
You're okay? So this is an okay show we're doing.
Every
All
live
right.
episode.
Yeah. Really, really fun to do that show, though.
Yeah,
really
I
so
had a
much fun.
blast.
Gary Gulman is in studio with us. You can watch Gary's new special, It's About Time, streaming now on Netflix. And Gary's going to be headlining at the Gramercy Theater in New York City, Saturday, May 21st at 8 p.m. Go to GaryGulman.com for tickets and additional dates.
This special, written, directed, and produced.
No, I didn't actually direct it.
Oh, didn't it say at the
does-
beginning?
Yeah, it does say at the beginning that,
'Cause I'm
that
wondering,
I directed
how
it.
did he
but I
direct
wouldn't.
it?
I wouldn't. I should stop denying it. But it was Bobcat Goldthwait who directed it.
Genius.
Yeah, who did a great job and made it look very different from.
Well,
from
does
the
he
other
know that
specials.
it got written up that you directed it, not him?
I can't imagine that he doesn't know about that because that you would think that would get back to him pretty quickly.
How long have you known Bobcat?
I've known Bobcat for about since Barry Katz's wedding. So Barry Katz has been divorced now for 4 years. So going back to 2001, I've known him for about 15 years. Yeah.
He is so brilliant. His films are unbelievable.
Awesome films.
And then you'll find out that he's directing a lot of TV shows
Yes,
and specials in between these bizarre, creative, truly independent films. I'm just a giant fan of those
Yeah,
movies.
he's a real artist.
Yeah, he is.
He's a real artist, yeah.
And somebody that everybody thought, okay, that's who he is back in the 80s. Oh, he's the guy with the funny voice, right?
Yeah.
And he could have just done the funny voice forever.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, once you get known for something, you can always keep making money at it. But he goes out of his way to just be involved in these really, the one that he did with Robin Williams, I think it's the World's Greatest Dad.
Greatest Dad. Oh my
God, it's
God.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Every time I watch it, I'm laughing, and then I'm crushed, and then I'm going, man, I hope I'm nothing like him. I really don't want to sit here and think about myself being this delusional. So he directs it. Now, how's that work out? You guys sit down and talk about where you want this whole thing to go, or?
Yeah, I mean, I gave him some ideas about what I wanted to do. I wanted to be shot a little bit higher than most of the TV shows shoot me because I'm really tall. So I asked for that. But then everything else I really entrusted to him. I think he's shot other specials and he's shot late shows. So I know to trust him. And I was really pleased with how it turned out and how it looked and that it would be different. I knew that he would make it different from the other ones. Yeah. So I was thrilled.
Why'd you pick that room out of all the rooms in New York?
I think there was one other that was capable of holding all the sound and TV equipment, and but that fit more people. I wanted to be able to fill it with people who were fans rather than just hire an audience seat filler. So that was. It sat 250 each show, so I was able to sell out 2 shows, and that was the perfect size for it. I don't know that they do that much comedy there, but I thought it was a pretty good looking venue for a comedy show.
I loved it too because it starts at this level and just stays at this level. It is a little bit, because of your delivery, it's a little bit more hypnotic than most specials that you'll see. You kind of fall into that same place that you do if you're watching a movie.
Oh yeah.
And then after I watched it the first time, I'm like, that can't be as visual as I remember it. You know what I mean? Because I think because of the language that you are using, it's the same experience when you read a novel where you feel like there were visuals, but obviously there can't be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a great rhythm to it, I think, which is probably, where you end up getting that visual thing, because I think it has really great flow to it.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad for that. Yeah.
But a novelist flow. You know what I mean?
It does. It really does.
It's really funny because there is not that thing that you do where people will come up and they want to own the stage and own the audience. It's really about the performance on stage alone. Did you watch this, Chris?
Oh, hell yeah. I loved it.
Wow. Thanks,
and I know that Trader Joe's, and I've shopped at Trader Joe's, and I know people who worked at Trader Joe's, and it was all spot on.
Oh,
it was just brilliant and hysterical.
No, this is the one on the west side?
Yeah, 72nd and...
I'm an east side guy.
Broadway, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the same experience that a lot of Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
They're just madhouses filled with crazy people.
Yeah. Yeah, and people trying to get advantages.
Now, I don't know if a few things have changed more than the supermarket over my life. Because Wegmans has the same kind of deal now, Whole Foods, where it's food that you never expected to see in a supermarket, or you just go there and eat.
Yeah, when you were living just outside of D.C., they were getting
the Wegmans came in.
And
the whole neighborhood was thrilled.
It was like people were freaking out. And I had never heard of Wegmans. And, I came to see you guys, and everyone was like,
it's all about the Wegmans.
Everyone, everywhere was talking about Wegmans.
It's what and then it was like when we started to get cable. Or
yeah. And
that's
then
really true.
When it finally opened, I was like, I get it. I get why people would be really excited about this. It was crazy.
Yeah.
You could get anything in there. I actually made myself really, because the first time I went, I was fascinated. They have the massive olive bar. And this is like a point of very deep shame for me that I got so excited about this variety of olives that I just bought a massive amount of olives when I went home and ate so many olives that I made myself throw up.
Really? That is bad.
Yeah, because it was every kind. Name an olive, they have it.
Really?
So I was eating olives that I had never had. I'm an olive fan. fanatic. So I was.
But you don't want it to become a problem.
Yeah, and
You know what mean?
I
It's an olive
actually
problem.
I flew too close to the sun. I'm gonna say it.
That's
But there's only so much. I guess whatever it is, it's like acidity or something. But I don't know why I'm so sick.
Saw this thing years ago, and I never forgot it. There was a jailbreak, right? Well, there was a big riot, and the inmates had taken over the jail, and immediately a bunch of them had broken in to the infirmary and taken so many pills that there were like 8 overdoses. They was just so excited, just happily eating pills that 8 of them died just right there on the floor.
I can relate to this.
Yes, and that's you with the olives.
That's exactly.
That you got all the olives you wanted, and like what is it in the rain? Isn't there a certain thing that'll just stand in the rain?
I think that they
till it
say that
dies?
about chickens or turkeys or something.
Something just stands in the rain with its mouth open. Till
Mesmerized
it dies.
by.
I've heard that. Yeah.
That's me again with olives. I mean, look at that spread; it's beautiful. I mean, there's like
Oh my
it's an
God.
insane amount of olives.
The Mediterranean bar.
It's got a gelato bar feel to it.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
that's really
I think they just bought whatever that gelato bar setup is, filled it with olives.
Well, you bring up the beginning stages of the omelet station of the early 70s in your special.
Yes.
That suddenly people could watch omelets being made. And I was laughing because I remember the thrill. It always took place at a hotel restaurant.
Yeah.
You know? And they'll make the omelet right in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fascinating. But then I noticed that the omelet chefs were also quite surly over the years. I've noticed they were quite surly. They do not want that job, and they've been relegated to it, and they don't like to be bossed around. And so I the alternate name of the special was Sympathy for the Omelet Chef. I decided to go with It's About Time. But yeah,
Well-
I feel bad for the omelet chef.
What's great is it takes just as much time as if you were making your own omelet because you're standing there with your empty plate,
Awkwardly.
waiting as you're telling him, yes, onions, yeah, peppers too. Yeah. It's all
You're never
stuff
going to
you can-
ask for as much cheese as you would put in yourself.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because there's shame involved.
More cheese, please.
Yeah.
Now, would you rather be the omelet chef, or would you rather be the guy who has to carve the meat by that big red light?
Oh,
meat
yeah, the red
carving
light
guy.
meat cutter.
The meat carving guy is lit up, and I think that's sort of a position of entertainment and power. And
So thin.
yeah, and other than the repetitive stress disorder that comes about from making the same slice over and over again, I think that the meat carver is sort of considered a star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An artistic star.
Yeah. Along with the guy who can make the ice sculptures.
Oh, that guy.
But they all consider themselves artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, particularly now more than at any time in our life that you go into places in New York and they take the food so seriously that they'll be like, shh, the chef is working.
Yeah.
Shh,
And
the chef is working.
They make them call him chef.
Yes.
You can't
Yes,
call him by his
chef, no
name.
chef.
Yeah.
All right, whatever, Randy.
Chef, please. The chef is here. All right, he's not the conductor of it's Leopold. Leopold.
Gary Gulman is in studio. You can watch his new special. It's About Time, streaming now on Netflix. He's also headlining at the Gramercy Theater in New York, Saturday, May 21st at 8 p.m. Go to GaryGulman.com for tickets and additional dates.
I'll be throwing donuts out to the audience throughout the show.
Yes.
There's also a photography thing that you've done. It's up on the Interrobang.
Oh yeah,
today.
the iBang, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it was done at the Comedy Cellar.
yeah. Now it shows up during there that you said you have a giant baseball card collection.
I do. It's at my mother's house, and yeah, I started collecting when I was about 7 years old, and I kept them. And I used to go to shows and everything, and buy them. And yeah, I was obsessed with baseball cards for a long time.
When was it the 90s that kind of blew up and it got a little out of control?
There was a glut in the early 90s that sort of ruined it for the like I was sort of a nerd, and then all of a sudden people started investing in it, and it just lost its
They were investing like it was the market. You know what I mean? Like people would pool their money together and let the one guy go out and buying, and then the card companies were putting out 80 different
And
Now-
people were just buying boxes. Just
You
buying
were a card guy too?
I would buy comic books, but at the comic book store, it would be the same place as the sports cards, as baseball cards.
Yeah.
So when it was McGuire Sosa is when things went really fucking crazy.
Oh my God, yeah.
Now-
Yeah, that was crazy.
Has all that stuff actually become as valuable as they thought that it was going to, or is this like a Beanie Baby situation where they said this is going to be value and they were incorrect?
The only thing I have from that time as a card is a Michael Jordan and a White Sox baseball card, and that's worth about $7. I found it in my
I
apartment.
saw him play down in Florida a lot.
Was he terrible?
Well, if you didn't know he was Michael Jordan, you wouldn't be watching him. You would say he was a below average player.
Yeah.
You know, at what was that, like a AA thing? But because it was Michael Jordan, these things that would normally draw, 40 people were packed with like 6,000-7,000 people going crazy just to see him play.
Wow.
Just to see him walk out on the field. And it was just a fun phenomenon that happened, I understand how the people feel in a Bernie Sanders or Donald Trump, thing. Like, you're just excited about being excited. So that part of it was fun. I only like cards of players that I liked. That was the only kind of cards that I cared about.
So you didn't want to have cards of like a team that was not your.
I wanted to have a Larry Boa card and sit around and think about him.
There he is.
There he is. Larry Boa.
It is interesting. Those Phillies like Mike Schmidt, Larry Bowa, Pete Rose. Those were the guys that I wanted to get. And, there was one where they were all on the same. They were all on the same card, and I would just stare at it for hours. Yeah,
It's
it's
crazy.
very very odd. Yeah.
So you didn't get the Manny
What drew-
Trio,
I think
the Greg Luzinski.
I liked Manny
Dave
Trio
Cash.
and Greg Luzinski and who was it? Gary
Bake
Maddox.
McBride, Gary Maddox.
Bake McBride had one of the best afros in American history.
So much that he had to bobby pin it onto the top of his head because there was no way for him to play. Look how crazy.
Oh wow, there it is, the triple threat. Wow.
Larry couldn't hit for shit until Pete came along. No kidding at all. Pete was like teaching him how to hit.
Oh yeah. Larry was a punch and Judy hitter, but
Pete. See, this is the thing about Pete Rose, and people always, think that he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. But he raised everybody around him. He was always a player coach all the time. He was always talking baseball and helping everybody around him get better. And all you got to do is go back and look at the numbers of when he played on the team and what they were before and what they were after. You basically had a coach on the field at all times with him.
Yeah.
Was
the
he-
best hitting coach in baseball?
Was he like a coach personality, or he was? You think they just like he?
No, he
played
was a
that way?
coaching personality, and he was constantly. I mean, he didn't ever have any thoughts outside of baseball. Zero. Zero thoughts outside of baseball. So, when you get to play at that level, it becomes this millimeter of a game. I mean, it's so precise when it gets up to that thing. So the slightest adjustment, you could pick up a couple more hits. You pick up 2 more hits a month and your average go way up. Or you learn not to swing at a bad pitch and you take a couple more walks, your average goes up. And that's all he thought about was shit like that. And he got everybody around him to think about it. You got a guy like Mike Schmidt. He was naturally a great athlete, but he never had the head that Pete Rose did. Very few people ever have in baseball. Same thing is true of professional football, where there's guys, they're coaching 100 hours a week, and then later you'll say, did you know that your kid graduated a couple of months ago? I'm like, whoa, really? That's great. See if we can get him some tickets to the game.
I always think that if you're quiet enough during a coach's retirement speech, you can hear the family screaming over how they're going to have to spend more time with this lunatic who all of a sudden doesn't have a lot of time to take up with football.
Well, so many of those guys, I mean, if you look at a baseball coach, a lot of those guys are 65, 70. They're traveling constantly, and they're at the ballpark first thing in the morning, and they get out of there about 12:30, 1 o'clock at night. And that's their entire day. Those guys don't know where the best restaurants are. They have no idea.
Right. Now, does baseball have the most difficult schedule, like as far as travel?
Yeah, the thing is, it's 162 games that you're playing before you get to the playoffs.
And I think it's less than 200 nights, I think, that they have to do it in.
Yeah. There's no time off. It kind of reminds me of when a comic says, "Oh, I did 200 nights last year." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just out with the grind, and the chances of getting better, no, it's very, very small. But at the same time, you'll have the same things if things start going south. It's just this long, slow red line that takes you down. It's got to be unbearable.
Yeah.
You know? That's why a lot of them end up taking speed, because they just are so tired.
Yeah, I can't.
They're just
imagine.
exhausted. You know, like that feeling that you have back from like a vacation. You're like, now I need a vacation. That's constant for them.
That's like life.
Yeah.
I don't know why sometimes when they go into 13, 14 innings, why one of the managers doesn't Greg Popovich and just start resting all the players and saying, if we win this game, we're losing.
Sure,
all
it's
these
true.
guys, send these guys back to the hotel. I don't know. People, they try to win every single one of these long inning games. I think it's counterproductive.
I don't think that they can think distance too much, that you get in that kind of grind and it's just, we got to win a game today. We got to win a game today. You know?
Yeah.
I remember playing Dream Week with those guys and they would be pissed if we lost the Dream Week game.
You went to fantasy camp?
Yeah, I did it like a bunch of years in a row down in Clearwater when I lived down there. They would invite us over. And that was, it's crazy how fast that you could just fall into that thing of this is important, you know? And we had a doubleheader against Pittsburgh, and my partner had to go close on his house, and we were all pissed at him. And like he called me later, and he's like, "What happened in the second game?" And I'm very serious, and I'm like you give a fuck. He goes, "I do. This thing was set up, and there's no way I could get out of it." I go, "Really?" Because there's a lot of guys that are dedicating themselves this week to bringing that trophy home. We were out of our minds.
What position did you play, Ron?
Well, I normally played second base, but because down there, I would just play, because I was playing for free and everybody else is playing like 38. Right. I'll go, just where do you want to put me? You want me to put me third, whatever. I would just jump around and play and just have a ball.
Oh my
the
God,
whole fucking
of course.
time.
Yes.
Yeah. But you gotta, the funniest thing is like when we played against all the other teams, the fucking Mets players were the biggest assholes that there were. Yeah. They were just
obnoxious
fucking douchebags.
Really?
And all the, and now from living up here, I get it, They were just a bunch of guys from fucking Long Island, they're just so obnoxious. And then you would run and guys from Kansas City and I go, you know what dicks the Mets are? And I'm like, yeah, just like real life. Nothing fucking changes.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
But it's a blast. You probably should just give them a call and say who you are and that you want to come down and play sometime.
Well, I don't think it'll be that easy, but I
bet it will be.
I don't know.
I don't think you realize how great this special is. I don't think it's sunk in yet.
Just let them know.
Yes.
It's about time.
Yes.
Streaming now on Netflix.
It's about time I get all the things that I'm due.
Wow.
But you played growing up?
Yeah, I played until I was 13, and then I just started playing basketball and football after that.
They say that most kids, because I got this from coaching, most kids stop any organized sports by the age of 14. It's something like 70 to 80% of the kids just stop playing.
Wow.
Do you think it's just because like more adult experiences are become open to you, like you're?
But I think at a certain point, sports, you become like, hey, why don't you sit and watch everybody else play? You're down to the point where just these guys are playing.
Right.
Because if you figure everybody plays Little League, right? By the time you get to high school, there's only 9 spots open. Or in basketball, there's only 5 spots open. So it starts to, pull away a little bit.
Right. And if you're just not good enough to cut it, like you're not gonna, why would you be playing anymore?
Yeah, why are you playing? You're just like, well, this is probably not my thing. I love the game. I'll get used to watching it on TV. That's it. I mean, that's when I think that you're coaching. You're just trying to teach the kids the game well enough so that they're watching TV. They know where the play's going. That's the whole point of coaching. So you can sit there and watch a game and not be a moron.
It's like teaching them how to be a better fan, really, than even a better player.
Yeah, and so you're not just yelling at players that are so much better than you that they should have done something else, and what you're yelling is the wrong thing. But I always find it phenomenal that the younger the kid, the more family comes out. So when the kid is 5, not only are the parents there, so are the aunts and the uncles and the grandmothers. And by the time the kid's in high school, he might, just see a mom stop by with a lawn chair and watch the baseball game. Because no one shows up to watch high school baseball. Everybody will show up for basketball.
Yeah.
I think even more now than there are for football.
Basketball, you think, is bigger?
I think it's
in high
starting to become bigger than it is for football. And that's changed. When I was younger, football on Saturdays in Chichester was the whole town came out. I mean, those things were packed every single week.
Yeah, there's much more of a social event with that, but there is
That was
no
social media in those days. Saturday football.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All the gossip would come out at the Saturday football games.
And there used to be a hill that guys would come that used to play football there and wear their jackets, and they would stand. They wouldn't pay to get in. They would stand on the hill and drink beer.
Just watch the game.
And they would be like this. Back in '68, it was a whole different story. I know it was. You played both ways back then, didn't you?
It's a hill of sadness, isn't it?
It was. There was a war going on. Yeah, I know. Everything's changed. But I also think that it isn't like that because people don't grow up, generationally in the same town for, 3-4 generations. People move all over the place now.
Yeah, which is probably affects sports in general, right? Like
sports and hometown life.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about it. If you meet somebody who grew up still living in that near their old high school and they're like in their 40s, you're like, you didn't do anything with your life. You just stayed here. You know what I mean? That never came up before.
Yeah.
But now we expect people just to move somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why.
But I admire that lifestyle where the people are still
love
in
it.
Yeah. Still
I don't know why I wanted to get out of town so much. I go back there, I'm like, this place is great. Why did I act like such a douche? By the time I was 15, me and my friends were like, we got to get out of this place. Somewhere else. That's where we're moving. We all felt like we wanted to get out of town.
Yeah.
But that thing of living in the same town is kind of cool, you know?
Yeah, but it must have been much more like the weird thing would be the people who left. Like they would have been in the minority. That would have been a bizarre thing. Like, why did you leave? But now it's much more.
For me, I was petrified I was going to end up at a factory, right? That was the fucking biggest fear in my life. I would just see the men going in and out of factories. I'm like, fuck, I can't do it. I feel like I'll kill myself. Now all these factories are closed.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. You could have stayed.
Yeah.
You'd be out of work, but.
Well, I'd probably be putting up aluminum siding. That becomes the thing. That whole town has just been aluminum sided. You need any for your car? Anything. Aluminum
You
siding.
really put it on anything.
You're never going to have to paint this house again.
What about that doghouse?
Yeah. I think that happened to the whole Northeast. Just aluminum sided. One end of the Northeast to the other.
Gary Gulman's new special, It's About Time, streaming now on Netflix. He's also headlining the Gramercy Theater in New York City, Saturday, May 21st at 8 p.m. Go to GaryGulman.com for tickets and additional dates.
I always look at a guy like Chris who grew up in New York City, and I kind of feel like he doesn't get New York City the way people who moved here.
Yeah, people must be a lot more like impressed by it or overtake or maybe appreciate it more.
Well, you don't do a lot of what I would consider New York City things. You know what I mean?
No.
You don't care about the restaurants. You don't care about museums.
Not at all, no.
Nothing in culture means anything to you.
Like the Met Gala is like fucking bizarre to me or whatever. Like that's just fucking it's nuts.
But the fact that there's something like that every night is crazy, and I don't think that you get it.
Oh, no. No, but sometimes I think about like all like the parties that go on like in these buildings. There has to be some sort of weird fucking party going on every fucking single day.
You know what weirds me out is how many screening rooms are in these buildings. Like wherever you go, someone's like, yeah, you're here for the screening? Like, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Let's go see the screening.
It's nondescript office building.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm like in some sort of a foot in each camp because I wasn't born here, but I moved here when I was like 14. So I kind of feel like I'm from here. And a lot of my, I think when you do high school somewhere, you're kind of from that place.
Right.
And that probably has more influence on your personality and, you're in that kind of developmental stage. You're probably
Let me say this. You root for the Yankees? You root for the Giants?
No.
No, you're not from here.
Yeah. Good point.
Fuck them.
Great. What are you talking about?
No, that's true. I think I've become less overwhelmed by the city since I've lived here in the past 10 years.
It doesn't seem as gigantic as it does when you first move.
When you first get here,
yeah.
you just can't get over
insane.
it. And how wide the streets are.
And you're like, how does anyone find their way around? And now sometimes it feels like a small town. Like, you know, it feels like if you know any one subculture, you're like, oh, it's not that big of a town. You know, like you look at comedy.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a town when it comes to comedy. Yet when you first move here, you're like, there's no way into this.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
This could never happen.
Yes.
You know, I blew any chance I had. I got here too late. Should have got here 8 years ago. That's how everyone always feels. But it's weird how warm and comfortable it gets after living. Now, I was just talking to Cavino and Rich, who moved out to LA last year. So I just ran into him in the hall, and I'm like, what's going on? And Rich immediately went, I got soft, man. He goes, I'm so weird. And he goes, I grew up in New York. Yeah. And he goes, I just can't believe how fast it is. And the weather is doing shit. And he goes, it just feels overwhelming. And I felt that way sometimes just being after a vacation. I'll come back to New York and I'm like, I can't seem to jump across the street. You know, it's moving too fast. Then it starts to feel normal again.
Yeah.
Or when I went away to college, I obviously wasn't walking everywhere.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to SUNY Purchase, so it's just barely north of here.
Right.
Westchester, Bestchester.
Yeah, exactly. Westchester County, right near White Plains. But I would have to get used to walking again. Like, you know how when people visit New York, they're like, oh, this is exhausting. And you're like 3 blocks. And you're like, okay, we have like 15 more to go. But but you actually have to get used to it. Like, if you're not walking every day, I would come back on like spring break and be like, I'm so tired. Like, just going a couple blocks, I would just be like, knock me out.
I've had like relatives visit, and they're like, look, tomorrow, let's just stay home. Talk. And I'm like, why? They're like, my legs are destroyed.
Yeah.
You walked me from
too
the
much.
East Village all the way to the West Village. And we don't think about it.
We don't think about it at all, but I can tell you from taking breaks from it, it really is exhausting. But yeah, like, well, I'll have a family visit and then you'll say, oh yeah, we're going to go to this restaurant. It's about a 10-minute walk. And they always say, that sounds great. And then 2 minutes and they're like, this is far.
Yeah, how much further?
And you're like, oh, we just started our 10-minute walk. We're only 2 minutes into this.
They tried, my in-laws, they tried to take a cab 5 blocks. I'm like, you can't even do that.
Yeah.
Can't take 5 blocks. Then they're like, we just can't walk.
Yeah, I can't. My mother wanted to do that, and I said I can't ask a cab driver to drive us a block. I'd be too embarrassed. If you want to plead with him, I can get behind it.
Then carry me.
I can't do it myself. Yeah, carry me.
You see, Fran Lebowitz was talking about. She was on Jimmy last night, just busting New York's balls.
Oh, really?
Over bicycles, and
she hates a bike. A bike is a toy. Okay, it's a toy.
Good.
A bike is a toy. Okay, I don't ride a bike because I'm not a child anymore. Okay, thank you.
She was also saying that people came up and they'll just ask her advice, and she'll go, I guess their parents love them so much that they think anyone just cares about them and wants to help them. And I was fucking Christ. She goes, because I don't care about these people at all. I think she's about as funny as a human being
can get. Absolute best.
Yeah, I love her.
Anytime somebody asks you that question of like, if you could have dinner with one person on planet Earth and sit down and have a long conversation, Fran Lebowitz. Absolutely for me.
Well, I don't know, because I've had her on the show and I so much wanted her to like me, and I don't do that with anyone. You know what I mean? That I think I would be intimidated throughout the
You
whole
like
meal.
me though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're busting my balls, but you like me, right?
She, you know, that thing that we were saying about Gary's special, she uses words. You know what I mean? She's not just talking. She's using words as tools, whether it's to slice through or whether it's to heal. Doesn't matter. It's very rarely to heal. But her humor, it's almost cheating how well she can use the language. And by the way, I don't think she's got any education. You know what I mean? Like, she's one of those people, came here from Jersey when she was like 17, started writing for Andy Warhol's Interview magazine. And I remember being a kid just reading any of the articles that she wrote, and brilliant brilliant, brutal stuff.
Yeah.
As a young person.
Yeah, she's a killer. She really is.
Yeah.
Like she's so so strong. But your special absolutely does that. Like I love the way you play with language. Like little things that you said throughout the special has just like been popping in my mind. Like I keep
There's no wasted words in your entire special.
I keep on thinking of the moment when you're like, when does he do well? Ne'er do well. Ne'er do well.
Oh, the ne'er-do-wells. Yeah. I've always been a fan of that word. Yeah. I mean, I saw a documentary that Springsteen did about Born to Run, and it seemed like they went over every note to every instrument. And it's like when I saw that, I thought, well, I can go over every sentence. That's not that hard. I don't have to break down what the bassoon is doing during this time, or the drums or the guitar. So it's not that hard. And there's a lot of time during the day that I'm not telling jokes. So it's almost like if I'm talking to other comedians, I'm like, you can do that with your act, because there's a Twain quote where he says something like that the difference between the right word and the almost right word is a difference between a lightning and the lightning bug.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah. So,
but see, that's true writing. You know what I mean? Like, and normally we don't even think of stand-up as a writer's venue. You know what I mean? Like most people feel like I've got to find my character and some good jokes. You know what I mean? Some good jokes to make people laugh the way I make my friends laugh. But the weird thing about these specials is they are closer to a novel than hanging out making your pals laugh. You know, like we were talking about going out with Doug Benson. We all had fun. That was a thing. But you don't think, okay, this thing is going to be re-looked at years from now. You know?
Yeah. And there's also something interesting because there's, like maybe somebody would want to make their act very conversational. But the truth is, you always know in the back of your mind that that person is not thinking that thought for the first time in that moment.
Right.
So you never, even when somebody is very natural or very, you still know it's written material. So like, why not embrace that? It's a very cool thing.
Well, did you ever see Monster in a Box? It's the writer, the one who jumped off the Staten Island ferry.
Oh yeah. I didn't see it.
Well, it's brilliant, and he does it sitting down in a black box, right? And because he's a writer, first and foremost,
Spalding Gray.
Yeah, the great Spalding Gray, yeah. So I like, to me, what you do goes closer to Spalding Gray, a writer who's performing like that, than it does to, Eddie Murphy or Sam Kinison or whatever. Because those guys were just going out and hitting things to explode the room. Your stuff could have worked just as well, whether the people that were there or not. You know what I mean?
That's good, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's just doing. That's just the beauty of any art form. You know what I mean? Where you could say, okay, you could look at the Clash, or you could turn around and look at Steely Dan. They're both great, but in totally different ways. One is just finding the power of the moment, and the other one is just playing notes perfectly. So it's up to each person how they feel about it. But watching that special, I saw exactly what you were going for. I thought it was phenomenal.
Thank you.
This is a very strange conversation for you to have to sit through. Just people sitting around telling you how great your work
Do you
was.
understand how great you are?
Do you fucking get this at all?
Do you even know?
No, Curry. I don't know.
We fucking love you.
You're not leaving here.
Open your eyes. Look at me.
But the thing is I've seen it so many times that I can find a million flaws in it. So that's the drawback.
what I would say. That's your business,
right?
You know what I mean? That's your business. That's something for you to worry about. That's not it for us. All we're saying is get back to work. Get another one of these coming quicker this time.
Yeah, I know.
It's always great to have you in here.
I love being here. You guys really make me feel at home.
I know that we were overly intense this time, but we'd all just watched this.
Thank you.
And we're really, really proud of you.
Thank you
really,
so much.
really
I
proud
really
of
appreciate that. That's really nice.
And check out the special on Netflix. It really is excellent. Gary Gulman, It's About Time. He's also going to be headlining Gramercy Theater in New York City Saturday, May 21st at 8 p.m. Go to GaryGulman.com for tickets and additional dates, and you can follow him on Twitter at Gary Gulman.
Yeah, and of course, if you like Gary Gulman, look into Mark Twain, Bruce Springsteen, and David Foster Wallace. It's all together. Great stuff with him up on the iBang, too. Great pictures of him in his natural habitat down at the Comedy Cellar. And it's also a pretty cool interview that you guys did together.
Yeah,
so,
that was
again,
fun.
real proud of you, buddy.
Wow, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. Thank
We'll see you next time coming through.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!